Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics now have back-to-back losses for the first time in 6 weeks after they came up short at home to Detroit last night, 112-105. Jaylen Brown scored a game-high 34 points, but he also missed 7 free throws in this game.
Yeah, very physical game. I thought we met the challenge, physicality-wise. Thought we rebounded, protected the paint, all those good things that, were good signs that we were meeting the physicality. Just, we got to be better. I got to be better. I wasn't good enough for my team tonight, so that's on me.
Cade Cunningham scored 32 for the Pistons. They are now an Eastern Conference best 21-5. Celtics off until Friday night when they host Miami. Bruins will be back in action tonight at home against Utah. Bees just finished up a 2-1 road trip. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots players have today off. They'll be back at practice tomorrow with a road game coming up Sunday night in Baltimore. The Ravens' second leading tackler, Teddy Buchanan, tore an ACL on Sunday in Cincinnati. Patriots have also signed linebacker Chad Muma off of the Indianapolis practice squad. Patrick Mahomes underwent surgery to repair his torn ACL yesterday. Phillip Rivers will be the starting quarterback for Indianapolis again on Monday night against San Francisco. Pittsburgh beat Miami last night 28-15. And the Red Sox made a small trade, sending top pitching prospect Luis Perales to the Washington Nationals for the number 6 prospect in their organization, lefty Jake Bennett. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. Our guys at Blue Sky would like to give thanks to all of their clients for trusting Blue Sky to get you back on your feet after a property disaster. Visit goblusky.com. Happy holidays from Blue Sky. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Here's Pasternak, high slot. Right circle to Zaka. Sends one across. McAvoy shot, and he scores!
The Bruins play here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Some good, content. My kids will know exactly who the their dad was.
Hey, good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios. You can watch us on YouTube, 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Subscribe there if you want to do that. A big show on the way today. It's going to be so much fun. All right. Christmas is coming. I've ate it. I guess it's good I've had things to do, but I've ate at steakhouses like 4 of the last 7 nights. And this morning, it was going very late. And my stomach is, I'm getting older, and when I eat, 9:30, 9:45-ish, it's very, very difficult. So there has been emergency after emergency today.
Just gastrointestinal distress.
I didn't have any heartburn medicine at my house. So
You don't have a bottle of Tums?
No, I didn't have anything. So I was
I know
forced.
what someone's getting for Christmas.
Well, I'll tell you, Hardy and I gave away some Christmas presents today, and I got here and there was a tin of premium butter cookies, Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the premium shortbread cookies?
And it was brought to our attention by Nick that what about these cookies is it?
That it is a sealed commercial container in opposition to the other cookies that were received by the people here on the show that were homemade.
Right.
So you got...
So it was a slap in the face.
I got a delicious. I mean, I've already gotten into it. The cookies made by
No, I've gotten them every year.
from Mrs. Wallach.
Yeah.
Who makes the haystacks and the reindeer noses, and there's snickerdoodles in here. I mean, it's a symphony of
Goyish.
holiday delectables. And it's really, really nice. I wasn't expecting it, but I was happy to see it here.
Well, it's every year, so you learn to expect it. But
but for you, Fred, you did not get the homemade tin.
No. I just got a bought tin.
Why is that?
Because I don't like it when people make cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why. You don't like handmade cookies. You've made that very clear over the years that I've worked with you. So
I ate the cookies your wife made last year.
I don't remember that.
No, I did.
remember you. I remember you
Fred,
saying.
would you like one?
No.
No. Well,
I just told you.
Your tummy's a little upset, right?
Yeah, I don't want to. And what are you going to start pounding down cookies at 6 o'clock in the morning?
I already had a half. What are these? What do you
These
call
are those are called pizzelles.
Yeah, I already had a half of one of those.
Yeah. Well, it's a little insulting, John, to be honest with you, but this is how we get away.
Oh, Nick brought you some Tums.
How long have those been sitting around? Whose hands have been in them? Would you eat those?
Of course.
No, you wouldn't.
Of course I would.
They just been in another room for like sitting around?
At least once a week, I go down to Martha's desk. And Martha, who is leaving us, Martha is, I think, technically the office manager here, but she's got all the goodies down there. The the Advils and the Tylenols and just, the OTC remedies. And those are sitting out there on a windowsill getting baked in the sun, probably having plastic soaking into all the pills.
But I
don't
trust
care.
Martha's desk much. I really do, much more than I trust what's going on back there. Not with our show, but just in general. But the amount of thievery and you don't know what people off the street are coming in here and they're touching stuff. It's very odd.
By the way, Martha's replacement has been announced. Did you see this email?
No.
Lauren will be taking Martha's place. And I sent Lauren a congratulatory email, which I thought was very nice of me. Much in line with you announcing your charitable good works toward the church and other institutions.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to announce that I sent Lauren a congratulatory email. I wonder if anyone else on the show did that.
Do you know who Lauren is?
I do not.
Yeah, neither do I.
12?
I have not yet, but I am planning to. But
yeah.
now you've beat me.
Why don't you wait another week?
I was a little behind on emails.
Why don't you wait until she's moved into the desk and she already hates the job? Do it now.
Yeah.
So I think this is
Strike when the iron's
Ryan's
hot.
last day of the year. Did you? I don't want. But did you open the gift I gave you, Adam?
I did. It's delightful. In fact, I will
that was the donation I gave them.
I understood it immediately. As soon as I opened up and took it out, I knew exactly.
So
what
I
you had
gave
done.
a donation to a terrible radio station, and
that's not nice.
I in return got a tote bag.
Of course you did.
Yeah. You got the WMBR tote bag, which is funny. And you got it in the mail just a couple of days ago because I got my premium. I donated and got a T-shirt.
All right, this is an honest question. Do they do that ironically now?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
NBR does because
No, I don't think so.
NPR stations do.
Okay, well, I can tell you what the options were. So when you donate, you can allocate it to in honor of a particular show.
Did
and
you
then it was
do that?
quite a collect. I did, and it was quite a collect. Well, what do you think I did? I did it for you. I did it to the Freeform Jazz show.
Yes, thank you very much.
Which I'm sure you're glued into every day. But it's not ironic. It is not. It is not. This is not a punk rock freeform radio station.
Some of the programs are. The Late Risers Club goes back to 1977. They played punk rock every morning from 10 until noon.
All right. Well, then every other show does not. I did not know what that was, but every other show is classical or it's like.
No, there's a lot of jazz. There's a lot of
classical
punk.
or jazz.
There's
I don't know
indie
about
rock.
that.
There
Okay.
is. I'm telling you.
Well,
I'm
you can do it.
P1.
You can go through it yourself and see what you make of these shows that are on there.
You know what? Don't let the guys know yet. We could turn that into a game next year.
Oh well, I don't want to get crazy. What's the radio station?
WMBR.
MBR.
It's MIT's radio station. 88.1. First on your FM dial.
WMBR. All right.
Community service of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
All right, and you can look at the webpage. It's outstanding. And so
it looks like it was put together by technical people.
Yeah,
It
and
says-
it's not easy to donate
Engineers.
either. It's not easy to really find that, but I can tell you the schedule. I'll read you the schedule today. If 6 was 9, or
Yes, that's that with Rick Biscuit Roth. I was listening to that on the way in this morning.
Okay, the New Edge.
I believe that's a jazz program that
Okay.
leans more toward.
Then the Jazz.
Is there more jazz on Tuesdays?
I'm just reading you the schedule.
Okay.
Then it's the New Jazz at the New Edge.
The New
The
Edge.
Jazz Train.
The Jazz Train, yes, with Dr. Professor John Pollock. Listen to him in the afternoon.
Terminal Swirly.
I don't know that one.
Post Tensious.
I don't know that one either.
Sad Boys Soundbox.
That sounds like something I'd like.
The ...
That's a great name for a radio program. Very descriptive.
So this says it's a radio station that sounds like there's a lot of guys who've been there for a very long
Yes,
time.
there are a lot of long-running community members, but there are also a lot of student shows as well.
It's like John Gentle, the the comedian who did the thing about how he wanted the Sunday morning jazz show at the New Jersey University so badly he murdered the current host.
That's right.
So because he had been holding on to it for 50 years, so he finally took the reins back for himself. But they gave me, I'll tell you, they gave me a tote bag and threw in 2 stickers.
Yes. They appreciate your donation, and I do as well. That was very kind of you. That brought me much joy this morning, Fred. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah,
So they change up the programming every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m.
Yes.
Which is that's counter to what a lot of programmers would do. Instead of creating some consistency and getting people into the habit of morning listening, some days you're going to have nonstop ecstatic screaming.
Oh, that's a fun one.
If 6 was 9, Pearl Jam, a rebroadcast. That's PURL. The Pontoon Palace is on
that's a good
Thursdays.
long-running
What's
show as
that
well.
exactly? What exactly is the Pontoon
He doesn't
Palace?
know.
I don't get to listen to that one often.
No, he doesn't know what any of them are.
The block programming. Go
I
ahead,
know
Artie,
because
go
I
ahead.
pulled it up.
Yeah.
The Pontoon Palace is a good-natured but incorrigible bin digger. And that person becomes embroiled in an early morning plot to present a rich parody of deep folk, heavy rock, psych, country, jazz, and pop. All the while indulging his boundless zeal for mischief and romance.
Well, there is a name of a punk band from 1980, James Dean Death Car Experience.
Yes, the Saturday lineup on WMBR is stupendous. Starting with John Funky's Backwoods, my favorite program. That's Saturday mornings from 10 till noon. Then you
Now,
get
is
the
that
bass case, you get,
is Backwoods a
rock and roll, country, and western rhythm and blues?
Yeah, is it like what do you call it there with the banjos and everything?
I know it. It's
Bluegrass?
not
Bluegrass.
No, this is more. This is like vintage country and rock and rhythm and blues. All
Okay,
stuff from
so
like
that sounds awful.
the 50s. It's nice.
Yeah.
The presentation is great too.
Well, he doesn't know what any of these shows are. He knows like 2 of them.
Oh, stop it! I listen. I'm a P1.
You don't. Well, obviously not. You don't know what any of these shows are. I just named a bunch of them.
Yeah, but
I don't believe you
parts of
listen
the
to
day
that
where
station.
I don't listen. I listen every day when I leave here. It's on WMBR, and I listen because it's a different host each day for the Late Risers Club, which is their.
Well,
punk
I
show
get why
from
there's
10 till noon.
well, there should be a different host for
Yeah.
every show because it's a college radio station, and they
But you
should
get a
give the
different
community.
flavor each day. Like Nick Wang on Monday is much different than Joni on Thursday. It's a different approach to playing punk rock on the radio.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The thriving punk scene.
Name one song you heard yesterday when you left here.
He actually ended the show with "Kick Him When He's Down" by The Offspring, which I thought was weird, but still fun because I hadn't heard that song in a long time.
Oh, so it's like BCN.
That was what made it funny.
That's right. That was the last song
Yeah, see?
yesterday. All right.
All right. Well, listen. There you go.
Thank you
I
again.
got
I'll
you
enjoy
a
my
tote
tote bag.
bag, so now you can take that to the farmer's market.
Yes, or to Walden Pond in the summertime. I put my towel and my swimsuit in there.
And you can kind of post up with it too, like
That's
you
right.
know, let everyone know.
Virtue signal to everybody.
Exactly.
Tell
like,
everyone
hey,
I'm all about.
hey, left of the dial, community radio.
Left all the way, baby.
Left of the dial, baby. You know?
You keep the totes in your car at all times for your grocery shopping and stuff like
Well, he
that.
lives in it.
Well, I have.
I'd be disappointed.
Unless he buries it in the park.
Toiletries, documents.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
gonna.
The
Just
sheets
in
that he
case.
puts over the windows.
That's right.
the folded cardboard box.
Yeah.
And it goes in front of the windshield.
Yeah, exactly. So the pigs don't know.
I worked with the guy whose nickname was Priest because he had to live out of his car for a while, and he had a Judas Priest T-shirt that he used to put up in the window for privacy. So that became his nickname, Priest.
Where was that?
In like Lynn, like we had FNX back in the day.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like
he's
that.
a good guy.
Nicholas, I can't see the phone calls, and that's on you.
He answered the phone. Look at it that way.
Well, we gave you people money.
So yesterday, it was actually before this time, Blind Scott was on, and just jumped right to it. Why not? Let's see what he had to say. He mentioned Joe Murray within 2 minutes of his call. Who do you think called in?
Joseph Murray. Well, I was still up. Okay.
On his way to do a TV thing or something.
Okay.
So the two of them went at it for a few minutes yesterday. And it was, we kind of sat back and just kind of marveled at the rage that these two embodied and let out
over
the public airwaves. That Scott had said Joe banned him from the chat at night.
Again, right.
And again, and brought up, and he said that Joe had said that Nick banned him. So Nick, started to get his bottom ruffled. But the two of those, those two guys screaming at each other an hour before the sun comes up.
You would expect that Blind Scott's up 24 hours a day listening. To have Joe finish work one night, wake up at 5:30, because he was in the car at 10 after 6 in the morning, and be as angry as he was is remarkable.
Well, he got off work at 7 o'clock at night. It's amazing to me. This chat is such an aggravation. It's just an aggravation. So now Blind Scott is of the mind that Joe is running the chat and has access to it and can remove people from it. Very good. You're on a chat on YouTube. Okay? I get it, and it's fun, and I like that you like being on it, and do whatever you want on there, except try to kill us, and then that gets you kicked off. And that's not us. You can imagine that the corporation and YouTube has filters where they see things. And then so does the company when you email us. So, if you're emailing us death threats, then that's going to get flagged. So, hooray. That's what's going on. But this notion that we somehow have control and access to this, and that it's thought about, that's the thing, too, is that it's talked about and thought about. Oh, have you seen the chat? Da, 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 da. It exists. Good. Have at it. And by the way, the less noise you make about it, the less people are going to butt into it. The less attention you bring to it, the less people are going to bother with it. I don't even look at it. So I'm not lying. I swear on my children, I don't look on that YouTube chat. Why? What do I want to see you insult me in real time? Go ahead and do it. You can do it without me knowing about it. I don't know what about it is so pleasurable to you, but go ahead and do it. The only aggravating thing is that you think you're doing something of interest to any of the hosts, or that we would have access to. Just enough. We're trying to do a show. I know you don't think it's very difficult, but it does require being relatively engaged during it. There isn't, everyone phases out from time to time, but we don't have time to be scrolling through the comments, while we're talking on the air and removing people. And this is the last I'm speaking about it. That's my resolution for 2026. Never that chat shall be mentioned again.
Do you want to hear 38 seconds of the Blind Scott Joe Murray call?
Oh, sure.
Joe, no, you blocked me, Joe. You're lying. You're lying.
You think I care about blocking you? You think I care?
Well, you did. Well,
no,
who
I
blocked
didn't.
me, Joe Ariana?
You're flapping your gums around. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, you want to have
breakfast? Your gums. You know that? People who
you want to buy me breakfast?
Get yourself
no,
in
that's
trouble all the time.
Nothing. Dude, you're lying, Joe. You're just yelling like some idiot, Joe. You're not going to yell at me and try to put me down. You blocked me. You wouldn't let me into this. You're being a jerk.
Hey, Scott, listen to me. You listen to me right now.
You wouldn't even let me go to Dick's, dude. You said I don't know you like that.
Scott, you have to be quiet.
Name out of your mouth.
I mean, Joe has a point. I don't know why Blind Scott thinks Joe got him banned from some chat. I know Joe's on that chat at night and uses it as part of his show.
Yeah.
But Joe's also alone and has to kill, some nights 5 hours. And I don't think there's like a ton of people, and I don't know how many people are in the chat during our show, but I would certainly imagine in Joe's show there's not a lot. I have, on rare occasions, I didn't yesterday when I was in rehab is when I had that room in the detox. Not I had that iPad. That's the time I experienced the show on YouTube. And I loved that chat because it was very negative, and I wasn't here. So that was what I enjoyed. But, no, I can't be looking at that when I'm on the air. There's, believe me, I understand that no one likes me. I get it. It's completely understood. And I take it Callahan was a welcome guest yesterday, as there was plenty of time to talk about the Patriots. We will get into that, obviously, at length today. Unfortunately, Andrew had something that came up. He cannot join us today, but we will have Patriots guests, and we'll give our own impressions of things. We'll let you call up and scream about the officiating. I was at dinner last night, and people started talking about the officiating, and I went, oh, that's why you lost the 21 point
Yeah.
lead.
Right. People were blaming, I'm not kidding here, people actually were blaming the refs for the loss?
No, they backed off. Or they might have been making, I was kind of like mixed on what I thought they were doing. They might have been making fun of people for blaming the officiating.
That's certainly
But
allowed.
my big thing was like, yes, that's why you lost by 21. You lost the 21-point lead is because of the officiating.
Oh.
And then, no, I know the one thing that we discussed is that, it was cleared up. It was like, well, I can't believe they called that a catch. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if they called it a catch because there was a pass interference.
On Marcus
and they're
Jones.
like, what? And I'm like, well, yeah, Vrabel wasn't going to challenge something that was just going to be
right.
Would have the penalty.
Right.
And the penalty would have put it at the same place in the field as the catch. So obviously they take the catch to give the guy this. Either way, it doesn't matter. It would have been at the same place in the field. And I'm not positive, and I had people over to watch that game, all Patriots fans, and I'm not positive why anyone in the audience thought that wasn't pass interference. Fine, 50-50, maybe, but that's not like some phantom call. And then also, if a game's like, if a game's been nip and tuck the whole way, and like there's like a punt return for a touchdown. Say Marcus Jones has a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown, and there's some BS phantom blocking in the like on the sideline call or something like that pulls back like this touchdown. Then you're like, Jesus, that like screwed everything. Watch a Lions game and then come back to me with the officiating.
I just real quick. First of all, both the receiver and the defensive back go to the ground. They both have control of the ball. The tie goes to the receiver, not the defensive back. And second, it was 4th and 2. It was 4th and 2. That's the most concerning thing. The defense couldn't get off the field. Marcus Jones didn't turn his head around in time. All of these things go against the Patriots.
And I also I think that the game's obviously not a negative for the Patriots. I mean, they're still going to win the division. They can
certainly hang with this team. They've proven it twice.
Right, and they can hang with the team and they can prove it. And then I hear this that everyone's upset about the officiating, and it's oh my God.
To give this show credit yesterday while you were gone, that was not brought up once by anybody, that the officiating was the reason that they lost.
Okay, good. Well, I like that.
No,
All
that
right.
wasn't it.
All right. Well, good. That's good to hear. That's I like that. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. The Pistons were in town, and that was a whole big affair. We will talk about that in just a moment.
himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Right, that is the name of the show. Brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going on?
What's going on is that the Detroit Pistons were at the TD Garden last night and looking to avenge their loss to the Celtics the last time these two teams met up. And early on, it looked like they were going to be in for an uphill battle because Jaylen Brown was going off.
Jaylen Brown, offensive end, slowing it down against Isaiah Stewart. Stu time. Stewart lines him up. Jaylen switches to the left hand, gets to the free throw line, spins to his right, tough follow away. High arcing jumper is good. He is making shots right now that you simply can't stop. If they go in, they go in.
He's an all-star stuff.
That's right. And the Celtics up at the half, but Detroit would overtake them in the second half. Guys like Derek White, though, were keeping it close.
Left-hand dribble, back to Duncan Robinson. Clean look, left side three, no good. Back iron, Celtics dodge one. Pritchard picks up the rebound. Celtics have a 4-on-2. Pritchard finds the trailer. It's Derek White. It's a three. Got it.
Wow. I don't know, Celtics just, they won't go away.
No, that's 93-90. The problem with Detroit is they've got this guy by the name of Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham, slowed down by Derek White, puts it back in the left hand, has a step, pulls up at 15. Short jumper's good. 108-102. Derek White gets the wrong way.
Cade Cunningham, 5 fouls. He was out for a lot of the fourth quarter. I'll tell you this, is Peyton Pritchard, not a good shooting night for him. I saw the fourth quarter of this game. Many air balls. Derek White with some air balls.
Yeah,
air balls.
Pritchard threw up an air ball from straight away at the end of the game. That would have been a big shot. If
he had more than one air ball.
No, I know, but that one hurt a lot. But
coughed up the ball at the top of the key too at the end of the game.
Yeah, even Grandy was saying he was playing poorly.
Yeah, it was not a good night.
Even Grandy said that he was playing poorly. Even Sean Grandy,
but here's the crazy thing. They lost this one. You know what Joe Mazzulla said?
No, I thought we got some really good looks throughout the second half. I thought in the first game we didn't play well. This I thought we executed. Thought we got some really good looks. I thought we didn't make them. We obviously, have.
What did your sensei say?
We either didn't, execute, find the right spacing, or we just we had 13.
Joe Mazzulla is so pressed for time that he brings his sensei into the facility, and he works out and then asks people if they want to meet his sensei.
Mm-hmm.
He's a traveling sensei.
Well, he also has Josh Waitskin, who is a consultant for the team, and that's more for like strategy and life coaching, I think, more than anything.
So I'm listening to this book because it's a nonfiction, and it is called, you would like it very much, Hardy, but hold your horses. Mm-hmm. It's called Dark Squares.
Okay.
It's by this guy named Danny Wrench. He was a grandmaster chess player and a grandmaster of the Ku Klux Klan. No, he was a grandmaster.
Grand wizard.
Grand, yeah. See, I'm so not racist, I don't even know the terms. But he was
I know them all.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm leaning on you. So was a grandmaster. He grew up in this cult, like da-da-da-da-da. And now he's like one of the guys who runs chess.com.
Oh.
But his inspiration was waiting for Bobby Fischer. So he name checks Waitskin a few times in the book.
Nice.
But Waitskin was a failure. That's the push, and that Waitskin couldn't become the star that he was that America needed, the chess community needed, and he let the chess community down.
Why not?
He wasn't Bobby Fischer. He did not live up to the potential that was, or the expectations that were laid upon him. I'm joking that he was a failure, but he wasn't. The chess community apparently was desperate. Waitskin works for the Celtics and is very close to Mazzulla, if you wondered why we went down this rabbit hole. And so they played push hands. And Mazzulla,
you don't
when they
play push hands, you engage. in push hands.
There's no
Touche.
playing, there's
Again,
no
I'm
playing
leaning
around.
on you.
No playing around in push hands.
I'm leaning on you on this. Again, master of all racism and push hands.
Take a moment to regroup after you just saw what I threw.
Well,
at
listen,
you.
my whoop will say something happened. So, if you don't know, Hardy just gestured at me wildly in push hands form, and I don't know how to defend that. And so, but there was a lot of expectation put on the kid that he was going to be like, because chess was like dying. There was very little popularity in the United States. Russia was dominating it. They needed they were looking for like a hope from the Western world, and Waitzkin could not deliver that. So Mazzulla is really falling around a failure, if you ask me.
Alrighty on that.
That's right. I don't know what that was, but it was Chili Guy. I don't know what he was
See
saying.
you defend the four-fingered gambit. Whoa! I didn't even use my thumb. What is he up to? I don't know.
It's at chess.com, man. When COVID hit, and then that Queen's Gambit became a hit, they went up like 500 million% of people playing that thing.
I play on chess.com. I mean, I'll go in spurts where I'll play like a 5-minute match a couple times a day for 3-4 days in a row, and then I'll forget about it for a month. But I don't know who you're playing against. It seems it's either a really popular site where there are just people waiting for games all the time, or they're just bots that you're playing against.
Well, this guy swears that cheating is like this incredible problem, and that they have done the best out of anyone to keep cheaters off of it. That with AI and everything,
oh yeah,
that it's a real problem, and that it moved in to the you know all the stories. I'm not going to bore everyone any longer with it, but let's just say Waitzkin. He's helping Mazzulla, but Waitzkin's not even close to. Who's the kid that became the star? Because the guy that ultimately became the star was the big kid where all the cheating was happening against him.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You know the number one chess player in the world until recently. He was famous. He's done like Rogan.
Spassky is a Russian kid or an American?
An American,
kid?
or not an American kid, but not a Russian. I think he's a European kid.
I don't know.
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen.
Maggie. Yeah.
Yeah, the Magnate or Magpie.
Yeah.
The Magman. Mag wheels. I call him BMX.
So in the movie, the main thing with Waitzkin was that he was too nice. He was too empathetic.
Okay, so all of the movie is a lie. The kid they did not discover that he had this natural ability. He was a kid that was taking lessons.
He was groomed.
And groomed like he didn't show up to Washington Square Park and start like kicking ass on the tables. That's not what happened. As you could imagine, you could have the greatest brain in the world, but when you sit down to a chessboard for the first time and you're playing someone who plays 8 hours a day, you're not going to beat him.
This is completely off topic, guy, but I got sucked into a podcast when I drove out to pick up Katie last week. I started listening to the Telepathy Tapes podcast, which got very high reviews, and it's all about parents of nonverbal autistic kids who claim that these kids can read their minds. And this researcher contacted a podcaster in LA. She's like, you got to come up and see this. So they go up and they bring like a film crew and they perform all these studies, and they're like, it's incredible. And I listened to the first 2 episodes on the way up. My daughter and I listened to another episode together on the way back because I'm telling her about it. She's like, oh my God, I want to hear this too. And it's incredible. Like these kids, they're doing all these experiments where the parents like look at a word and the kid will use like a soundboard to like, pick out the letters without seeing what the parent is looking at. And these kids start talking about having telepathic conversations with other nonverbal kids like around the country, and they know each other's names and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. And I spent 30 seconds online afterward looking at the telepathy tapes, and every reputable doctor, source, researcher says it's all nonsense.
Oh.
Don't believe a word of it. It's all been debunked. This is actually more harmful to these kids and these parents because they're giving all this false hope to these families who think they've got some communication going with their kids, and it's just not. forget about being able to prove it. They've disproved it so many times that there's like the community at large of doctors and researchers say, please don't listen to that. Please don't. Please don't. It's just going to send you down this depressing path.
But sometimes the medical establishment will, say no, and then they start turning to it.
See, I felt the same way, and there's still like an inkling of me where here's a big red flag. If you want to go onto the website to look at the videos of the experiments, there's a paywall.
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that is a red flag.
Yeah, that's a little shady.
Because there was this whole thing with this Dr. Amen, and I know there's people listening that are going to go like, but he was like scanning brains. And he's a bit of like a huckster, and he's a bit of a self-promoter. But he was scanning brains, and everyone was like, this is very dangerous. None of this is going to work. You can't scan brains. Like scanning brains for mental problems. We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, people are starting to say, well, maybe this does in some ways work. Maybe not in exactly the way that he's saying it does, but it's not like a ridiculous notion. Look, telepathy seems, there are mysteries in life that I don't know and no one knows. And so who am I to say? It does seem like, that probably is a little bit more out there, but I have in my lifetime heard of many, and I'm talking about like positive things, right? Like not like weird, like everything's going to kill you things. This is like a positive thing, but like a lot of times like medical communities get their like hunt, and it's really harmless. Like, scanning a brain, like it doesn't hurt your brain. Like it's kind of like a harmless thing. This isn't like dangerous. Like you could argue like these vaccines, not taking them, it's dangerous for humanity. This is like pretty like a harmless thing. They it's like they get like all protective, like no, and then you think, well, what's better? Like you just asking people,
right?
Like all you're doing is asking people. Like at least this guy's like trying something non-evasive to like look around and see if there's, and he's has hundreds of thousands of these things, and he's put correlations together. That seems a lot more valid, even if it's one guy, than you just asking people that sit down in front of you for an hour twice, and then you diagnose them from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he so crazy when all you're doing is just asking people questions and going by what they say? Could you go in there and say anything? All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. I got to go emergency.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius.
You would think someone had lit a fire in there, like literally a fire. It's not even gross. It's just smells like someone burnt like a pack of matches.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying when that happens? Like it's
That's very specific.
It's completely stomach acid.
Wow.
It's good getting old.
Burning.
Not even so much coming out. Just necessary.
Yeah.
Kind of relieving.
Right.
Kind of. I think the plan might be not to eat today. That might be the plan. Let this all clean out. Let it all go.
You might want to throw caution to the wind and take one of those generic Tums that Nick brought in for you.
I think that would have been good probably about 8 hours ago. That probably would have been the time to take the Tums.
Something to chalk it up.
Nah, we're all right. It's past. It's probably past the stomach. I mean, it's got to be past the stomach now. I mean, I finished eating around 9:45. I got to figure that that's cleared out by now.
Yeah, but those don't stop in the stomach. Then they go in and
no, it's stomach acid.
They coat the track afterward.
No,
the stomach, it's in your.
Those do not. The
bowels now.
Pepto-Bismol coats the stomach. These are not things that go into the intestine. No.
Oh, those don't?
No, they kill stomach acid, which I don't even know if that's the best thing to do right now. Maybe my stomach acid needs to be on full alert.
On swole?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything else is on swole. I think that the plan is not to eat today.
Okay.
That might be the plan, to go today without eating. Maybe a little snack at night.
Why don't you try this? Because you still should eat just to keep your strength up. Why don't you go to like a burrito place and just wait it out for like 15 minutes? Maybe do something to kill the time.
Oh, I should get my Twitter account back.
Whatever. And
AMA the thing.
And just, smell the spices and the stuff that they're cooking up in there, and then you decide. But you kill the time while you're waiting any way you want.
Or I could just open up Wallach's generic premium butter cookie tin that he gave me.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, 12.
All right, there's Monday Night Football last night as the Pittsburgh Steelers were playing host to the Miami Dolphins. And you know the Dolphins are playing for so much at this time of year, and they love going north. I think the temperature in Waltham right now is 18 degrees, which matches what it was in Pittsburgh last night.
Yeah.
So the guys in Pittsburgh, they're used to it. No problem.
Rodgers in the shotgun, taps both sides of the helmet, one on the play clock, gets a snap. Dolphins bringing pressure. Throw over the middle. It is complete to DK Metcalf. Hurls aside one defender. Stiff arms another. Into the end zone for the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown. What an effort by DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that was pathetic by Miami. He caught that ball in traffic about the 10-yard line, and he just was pushing people off of him.
Yeah, Miami wanted to play with a running clock in the second half. And Troy Aikman actually got upset in the fourth quarter because of that. Miami, no urgency at all. They're down big. They were down 21-3 at one point, and they're huddling up in the fourth quarter, and they're like, we're cold. It's time to get out of here. And then finally at the end of the game, they're like, oh yeah, let's call timeouts and let's extend this out a little bit.
Well, they did the insufferable Scott Van Pelt, who I don't mind, but I really don't like him after these games. Like, he's so overly earnest. It's really annoying. And he was like he's as caught up as any fan. And it's nauseating. But he talked to Aikman after the game, and he said, do you think, you got this veteran who's been through these wars before? Yes, Rodgers is a huge amount of success in the playoffs. Never a disappointment. Him and winning go hand in hand. And Aikman's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. I would. I would absolutely want to play them
all
in the
of
playoffs.
the teams that look like they're going to make the playoffs, I would rather play Pittsburgh before just about anybody.
So what you're saying, Troy, is that you would not want to play anyone in the playoffs, is what you're saying, because that's asinine.
Aikman said he wouldn't want to play him in the playoffs?
He said, I wouldn't want to play him in the playoffs. This looks like a quarterback that's tuned in. He looked different tonight than he's looked at. Houston, Buffalo, the Chargers. I mean, I would rather play Pittsburgh far and away more than any of those teams.
Sure.
Chargers even without their tackles. But certainly Buffalo or Houston.
Yeah.
Or New England or Denver.
No, as I said, Pittsburgh would be number one. Rodgers, by the way, 11-10 lifetime in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's not synonymous with winning in the playoffs. He's been very disappointing, quite frankly, if I can be so frank. If I can be a truth teller and a pot stirrer, you know?
No, you go ahead. After the game, Mike Tomlin saying that no T.J. Watt last night, but that was okay.
We got a lot of confidence in our edge group as a collective, and so we're not surprised when they play well. We view Herbert as starter-like. Certainly, excited about the bright side and the future of Jack Sawyer, and so
yeah, all right.
We all are. I wish I was part of a collective.
We're going to talk a lot more about Jack Sawyer coming up here at 7:20, and 8. So don't you worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, today's Jack Sawyer, mean prod.
I saw J.J. Watt on Sunday. He was calling the game with Ian Eagle next door to Bob Sosi and Scott Zolak.
Oh, you saw him?
Yeah.
Did you talk to Ian Eagle?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be either.
I mean, first of all, I'm not going to walk into the TV booth. I'm not going to stand out in the hallway and wait for him like some kind of a psycho. So, but I did see JJ standing out there. Big fella. Large.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've interviewed him in person. When I interviewed him at the Super Bowl when we were in Indianapolis, you must have been there, John.
Yes.
Unless did they send you to Indianapolis?
Nope, I was there.
Okay, yeah, and we had him on, and I was just fascinated that he had gone to Central Michigan. If you recall, he started his football career at Central Michigan. He's
delivering pizzas. Yep.
Yeah, that whole thing was a little bit of a scam. But Central Michigan's still a D1 school. I don't know if he was delivering pizzas, but it's amazing that big a kid went to a MAC program like that. No one was recruiting him out of high school like that. He's not like this, like a 5'8" running back that you went, or something like that, or like a slot receiver that you see how people like didn't catch him. This is a huge individual. Yeah. Wasn't he an offensive lineman or something coming out, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up.
Tight end.
Okay.
That's Central.
Okay, yeah, and they, because Central had that defensive tackle that was taken number 1 overall in the draft.
That's right. Yeah.
He's a left tackle.
Kansas City took him. I remember that. Yeah.
It was a number 1 pick in the draft. He had a long career in the NFL, but he never was obviously never lived up to that draft position. All right, when we come back, I got all excited because we have a Slack chat, and it said Dangerous Toys, and I thought we were going to be reliving the work of the group, this 80s seminal heavy metal group Dangerous Toys, and I thought Eddie Trunk, who had Yeowolf on. Is that the guy's name? What's the guy's name who sings that everyone likes now?
Youngblood.
He had Youngblood on last week, Eddie. Viral. He had him before Stern.
How long did he have him on for?
As soon as I saw Eddie had him on, I didn't want to hear it anymore. I'm like, where's Fred Curie? And I went, there he is, the drummer from Cinderella. He's right up there on his Instagram account. Fred Curie looks really good.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's looking good. All right. Boy, you could hit those skins. My Gypsy Road. Woo. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and
12-point lead. They lost to Detroit last night, 112-105 at TD Garden. Jaylen Brown was 13 of 25 from the field and scored 34 points. But he was also 7 of 14 from the line in this one as the Celtics lost a second consecutive game for the first time since November 3rd.
We meet the physicality, and I think that's what we did tonight. I think my team did enough. I got to be better, down the stretch. We got to be better down the stretch, but definitely a game that got away from us, that got away from me. So we'll watch the film and be ready for the next one.
They'll be off until Friday night when they host Miami. Bruins kick off a 5-game homestand tonight when they welcome Utah to TD Garden. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots visit Baltimore this Sunday night. Ravens lost one of their top tacklers, linebacker Teddy Buchanan, to a torn ACL. Patriots have also signed linebacker Chad Muma off the Indianapolis practice squad. Phillip Rivers will start again for Indianapolis on Monday night against San Francisco. Miami was eliminated from playoff contention last night, care of a 28-15 loss in Pittsburgh. And the Red Sox made a small trade. They sent top pitching prospect Luis Perales to the Washington Nationals with the number 6 prospect in the Nationals organization, lefty Jake Bennett. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Celebrate the season at the Nines with delicious holiday menu specials like the creamy lobster carbonara or the baked stuffed shrimp and lobster combo. You gotta love the Nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Break me. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
My buddy.
With friends like these,
To climb up a tree. We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
They were too much of a game changer, I guess. But nonetheless, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And Hardy, it is the holiday season. We gave gifts to the staff except for John. And the cookies that John's wife made for everyone, I was given a generic tin of cookies.
Right.
Why was that again?
You're under the impression that I won't eat people's cookies.
It's not under the impression. You've said it on the air multiple times.
Now that your kids are older, I would have ate them. I ate them last year. It's when the kids are very little.
Running around with feces on their fingers and dipping their hands into the batter, and
And don't you
that's what
think
happens in my kitchen? Yes.
Well, I mean, if kids are allowed to participate in making the food, I mean, they're putting their hands in there. Kids got messed up hands. But don't you think that when someone bakes cookies for you, it's almost a gift for themselves? That they enjoy the baking? I get that impression a little bit.
I think it just means more because they've really put some time and some love into it. That's
people like money, and then when you exchange money for something. So maybe this gift, John, was a. Did you just have this tin sitting around? Or did you specially buy it?
Specially bought it
at TJ Maxx.
I don't know. She bought it. I did not buy it
because I think they sell them at TJ Maxx.
Show me the lid. I'll tell you where he bought it. I'll just Google it real quick. What is it? The Dennis premium butter cookies.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want those, Fred?
I'll take them. I mean,
Okay.
I'll
You don't want them?
I'll give them to someone I hate.
Okay.
You get a lot of Amazon deliveries at your house, John?
Tons.
Okay. This came via Amazon. That's a $14 tin of cookies.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice.
You Prime member?
Yes.
Oh, good. So you didn't get this is heavy. You didn't get dumped. You didn't get that shipping dumped on you.
That's correct. I don't want that extra charge.
No. You can't have that.
It's only
nice
the best.
gift.
All right, Hardy. Well, when you're giving gifts to people, you have to be a little careful.
You really do. You really do. And there is a local organization, at least the dateline is Boston, from WATCH, which is the World Against Toys Causing Harm.
Huh.
And they have released their 53rd annual Top 10 Worst Toys for 2025.
Johnny Switchblade Adventure Punk.
No, that is not one of the toys. They go through all the toys and they find out which ones are causing harm, which ones are dangerous for kids. And I have the list here, so it'll be your job, gentlemen. I will tell you the name of the toy, and then you have to tell me what is the potential for injury.
I can tell you the clip that we just played, everyone would know. That's Dan Aykroyd from probably a 1977 Saturday Night Live.
Everyone knows these.
Everyone.
There's a bag of nails, bag of bugs, bag of vipers.
That's actually a skit that stands up, one of the few that stands up from that era of Saturday Night Live. But just so you all know from that 5-second clip, that's from 1977.
48 years old, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I was 2 when that came out. I can only imagine.
It really hits home with
everybody. Oh, yeah, that's Dan Aykroyd.
Of course
on Saturday Night Live doing the character where he's the shuckster.
We're just packaging what the kids want.
That's right.
You were called Jane Curtin would be the incredulous interviewer in that situation.
Gentlemen, there is a toy on the market right now that are called goo slingers.
Oh, jeez.
Now, what would you think would be the issue?
I know that we used to advertise a pill that can improve the weight of that by quite a bit. And I'm not lying. We ran during our stream. We would run ads for something. It was a product that was supposed to.
I'm going to say the name of the product only because it was a product that was
advertised. No, this was advertised. We can't get in trouble. This was an advertised product.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the name of the product was Loads with a Z.
Load Boost is your guy.
Yeah.
Load Boost.
Load Boost. Okay.
And so
the boost
fire hose. I remember that.
You know, women, there's a lot of pressure on you to be thin and to live up to this certain aesthetic beauty. I understand that. Just know that men out there are concerned about things like
ropes.
The size of that.
Adult film stars.
Not the size of their penis,
like a fire hose.
which we're all concerned about.
Yeah.
It's either there's something wrong. All of us are convinced something's wrong with our penises, but this even I'm not. I find it very difficult to believe a woman has ever said, "Aw, thought there'd be more."
What is that? This is like 10 cc's, like a teaspoon.
That's right.
Now I know why.
Where's the rest of it?
It's so funny. At dinner last night, we were talking about Peter North and about like what a odd thing to be, and he was like proud of it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't know, it's from healthy living.
Animal. I know.
The TT boy Peter. I started telling people like, oh, you got to watch this TT boy Peter North video, and they're like, how do you know so much about this? They were looking at me like I was insane, and I'm like, you all know what I'm talking about. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sitting around a table full of guys who you know, but not as well as you know some others, and just waxing rhapsodically about this long-form interview between 2 male porn stars.
It came.
I might be a little incredulous.
Peter North came up from someone else.
Oh.
Brought Peter North up because it was talking about Propecia and actually a little bit of what we were just discussing.
Oh. Oh, does it help?
No, it takes away.
Oh, then I don't
Interesting.
No.
All right.
Then your ladies can be like, what?
I can't have that. Just blowing a sad cloud of dust.
Well, listen, ask Jordan.
So the the goose slingers.
Oh yeah.
And they have satellite products such as the Heroes of Gujitsu.
Right, which are Asian porn stars.
They can cause harm or injury in what way? What would you guess?
Well, blinding.
Yeah, I was just going to say maybe some burning.
That is correct. No, not burning. Eye injuries. This is a
burning in the eyes is what I meant.
This is a
or burning in your genitalia if you're someone who's been irresponsible.
Sure.
This is a slingshot situation. It's almost like a wrist rocket, but instead of firing pebbles, you fire these gooey action figures at each other. They do recommend that the kids wear eye protection when they're playing with these.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing most kids don't.
Even when we were kids, they didn't have stuff that like flung. Like, remember they always said there was a Boba Fett that had like a missile that flew off its back, and that was never true. Like, I remember when we were kids, they didn't have stuff that like would fire out. So I mean, I'm a little surprised that nowadays they have this kind of goose slinging.
Goose. Thank you for that. All right, let's move on to shape sorter xylophone. Now, this is different from the shape shifter xylophone, which will invite evil entities and demons into your home.
Uh-huh.
That's totally different, and it's obvious why you wouldn't want a shapeshifter. This is the shape sorter xylophone.
For all your OCD musician children. All the...
What is the issue with the shape sorter xylophone?
That you're really feeding into the neuroses of the child.
You're promoting bad music?
Correct. you're promoting.
You're promoting their OCD. You're indulging in it.
The potential for music nerds that you'll be raising.
Yes, John knows all about that.
Even I did not stray towards the xylophone. No.
Xylophone, I could make an argument, it's a lot cooler than some woodwind.
Let me tell you something, man. Being in the percussion section of the school band for many years, the xylophone, the marimba, never got up to the vibraphone. You had to play in jazz band in order to get your hands on that vibraphone.
Those are the cool people.
That thing was cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was at the Holiday Pops, and our boy was not the conductor.
Lockhart did not conduct?
Lockhart that night?
He did not. And
understudy?
No, he did come up as Santa Claus. And he wouldn't get off stage. But he was hamming it up for quite a bit of time. They had visual jokes, too, while he was up there.
If Scott Zolak is listening right now, he's going to call in, as he does probably. And he texts me every time Lockhart is on and start railing about this guy who thinks he's so big up there waving his stick. Like, what's he really doing?
Well, he would have been happy because the young woman was in his position during that one.
Oh.
He was giving someone else a run. You know, they did everything the same, though. Tanglewood Singers, you would have been in heaven, Adam.
I love it. It's one of my favorite holiday traditions.
Well, I mean, look, I know they were starting to lock the side doors, so it's a little difficult for you to get in.
Yeah, wasn't able to do that this year.
The shape sorter xylophone can be harmful in what way, boys?
Shape sorter xylophone?
Yeah.
Eyes. I don't know.
Ingestion. You can actually take pieces of the shapes or the xylophone off there and swallow them. Come on.
Okay.
Day one stuff.
Well, then why would they have kids buy it? I mean, it's the same with Legos. You don't give like little Legos to little kids. They'll swallow them. And then they won't come out in feces.
Okay, this one, you
got to dig in there.
You're really going to have to...
doctor.
You're going to have to think about this.
Yeah.
What could possibly be the issue? Because it sounds completely innocuous. The Nerf Pro Gel Fire Igniter Blaster. Now, what is wrong with the Nerf Pro Igniter Gel Fire Blaster?
Well, there's no way it lights on fire.
No.
Well, the eye thing again.
Yeah, it's got to be.
You figured it out with the Nerf Pro Gel Fire Igniter Blaster.
Yeah. So if you stand directly over it, what do they aim it at each other?
Have you ever given like your son or your son's friends, like when they were little, a Nerf gun?
Yes.
It's possessive. Like
Yes.
it's the most annoying thing. They cannot help themselves. They lose their minds. At least my son and his friends did, and my son did. There's still one in the closet of the room I sleep in Tennessee at my parents' house, and my son will grab that thing, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, he's still at 17.
Yeah.
We'll run around with that thing, like all hyper and excited, firing it at me.
The Nerf Pro Gel Fire Igniter Blaster comes with a 60-round capacity, T-pull priming. It does come with eyewear, but it also comes with 1,000 rounds.
Isn't
included.
that fun, cleaning that up after the sun is
and
done
loading it
spraying
again,
the living room?
and loading it again, because the gun that I have probably holds 20 of these things, and it's under the guise of shooting at a target, which obviously
of course,
is super fun.
nobody does, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and the amount of hassle it is to pick them up and then put them back in the gun, it's the worst.
It sucks. And I spent about a month, like my two kids and I, firing pellets of these things at each other. And then it takes, like you were saying, 15 minutes to clean everything up, and then another 10 to reload, and then you're back at it again.
Right, and then
to clean it up again.
Yeah, and you're an adult, so it's no fun. Yeah,
no,
it's no good.
All right. Finally, there's the Snackles Disney Mini. Now, this appears just to be a...
Is that what we're calling women's fat ankles now, or snackles? I like it.
You have too many snacks.
You get thankles.
So sodium. You're retaining water.
Yeah.
You end up with snackles.
I'm going to start saying snackles now whenever I disparage women's bodies.
Okay.
Which is
almost
so
constantly.
frequent. Yeah,
it's almost not all that comes out of my mouth.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's enters the realm of zeitgeist. In other words, they get used A lot.
I don't mind. I'm not a big leg guy, so I don't really care what a woman's legs look like. But I will now. I know women do. So really, when I want to cut to the bone, no pun intended, I'm going to go snackles.
You got
snackles.
So the legs don't interest you?
No.
Not at all.
Nothing really below the waist is any of interest to me, except for usability. I'm not aesthetically. None of it is really of any interest to me.
You know, go down there and take a look and see what's cooking.
I mean, I'm down there. I'm not afraid to be down there, but it's not like I'm not a.
Right on.
I'm not well, no, listen, man.
He gets to work.
I'll go with some brothers.
Yeah, you're a real junior soprano over here.
As they said in Tribe Called Quest, Benita Applebon. But aesthetically, I'm not a huge waist down.
Huh.
Everything's almost from the waist up, including the most important of them all, the brain.
There you go. The Snackles 14-inch plush Disney Mini apparently has a potential for suffocation injury.
Oh, John.
Of course.
John.
It's not the right kind.
I don't know what you're doing with that Snackle
That's
Disney
the right
Mini.
kind.
Now, John, that doesn't count for you because it's not something that makes poo.
It's junior league. I mean, come on.
That's right. The thing that makes poo he wants on him.
John just wants that big old butt. Make a toilet beg for the brown. He just wants.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
That's gonna linger. That's gonna stick with me for a while.
It's the one line from the new Naked Gun that I went, oh my God.
Yeah, that was a great line.
That's a great line.
But I do like my Snackles idea of instead of Thankles.
Yeah.
Snackles.
Yeah.
I
sure.
like that. Yeah. All right.
That is Teddy Chainsaw Bear. See?
That's 1977 again. Dan Aykroyd. All right. Let's quit while the quitting is good. Mike Dussault covers. That's right. He covers the Patriots for Patriots.com. He's good friends with Hardy. I bet you saw him at the game, I would imagine. Did you see him on Sunday?
I did not.
He was buried in the bunker across the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I got there in time to see a couple of people before kickoff, but did not have time to go to the down to field level into the booth there and say hello. And then those guys, they're straight up to the press box, which is the worst place to watch the game. Not watch
It's
the game
not.
in the press box.
And the press box sucks everywhere. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More, please. You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Feel good or okay?
Yeah, kind of took a nosedive there, Detroit Junior, huh?
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you?
How
Make
those
up your
cookies,
mind.
buddy? Good?
And they're butter cookies. You know, John, not the best.
So if I was going to get you a mass-produced cookie, Fred, what would be your choice?
I got 365 days to think about it. Every day, I'll before I go to bed, I'll brainstorm.
Okay,
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Mike Dussault is a writer and content producer for Patriots.com. He's not just a writer; he produces content.
Yeah,
which is what art is called now. So he's really an artist.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm being sarcastic, stupid.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm just joking. All right, Mike Dussault, thank you.
Content.
Thank you, Mike Dussault. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
Were you all a tizzy at the 21-0? Were you making wild statements online? What were you up to at that point?
No, I think Paul Perillo can confirm that I was. I think I needed 30 points to feel any kind of comfortable. Had to know Josh Allen was going to do what he did, and yeah, I was on edge. Nobody talked to me at halftime, and then you saw what happened.
All right, I wasn't here yesterday, so just take me through what happened from 21-0 on. What did you see happen? Where did the Patriots falter, in your opinion?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think starts with the defense. Couldn't really make a play there at the end. You saw Josh Allen start to heat up. I mean, we've seen it all the time. You go back to that 21 playoff game when they didn't punt. I mean, we're all familiar with how good this guy can be when he gets on a roll. And then, you needed the Patriots to come out and at least put together a couple drives in the second half to maintain the lead that they had, and they just couldn't. So, first half was mostly all Patriots until the last minute and a half, and then the second half was pretty much all Bills on both sides of the ball, including special teams, which really hurt them right out of the gate in that third quarter, giving them great field position on their first possession. So, defense couldn't step up, and the offense couldn't really make a play in the second half. But yeah, that's how it goes.
The special teams obviously put them in terrible position and given the Bills great field position. But Mike, let's not let you off the hook that easily. Your precious defense, it really amounted to one stop. And you can flip this and say the offense too. They really just needed to find their way into the end zone one time or one more time in the second half in order to flip this game. But one stop from the defense. What is it? Because I've heard the explanation from Vrabel. It's like, yeah, we did what we did in the first half. They did what they did in the first half. We came out and we're all doing the same thing, but they just executed and they could not get a stop. So there's something had to be different.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, look, Robert Spillane not playing, I think, was significant, especially against Josh Allen. Not just the tackles that Spillane piles up, the plays he makes on the ball, but also just the leadership. That guy's a tone setter in the middle. And, if there was a guy to look to maybe turn things around when it wasn't going great, you might have looked his direction. Unfortunately, he couldn't play. Not sure what's going on there.
Okay.
But injuries aside, let's put the injuries aside. I think that's what you're going to say to me.
No, that's not what I was going to say to you. I was going to say that there is a lot of this going on now, that Spillane was the reason that the defense fell apart. And it's like, okay, well, I could see Milton Williams or Barrymore. You can see Christian Gonzalez. How deep into the defense do you have to get until it stops being that guy? Does that make any sense to you? Like, at what point in the roster is it like, all right, a dude's injured, we have a 21-point lead, that's enough? Like, Spillane was a nice free agent pickup. He's not an all-pro.
And you also have to remember, there were plenty of third down and 5+. There was that 4th and 2 deep ball. What it came down to, Mike, is they had to make one play.
No, but I want to stick on Spillane. Yeah. Like, sure. Spillane's that important to the defense that they're in trouble if he doesn't play.
Well, I'm not going to say they're in trouble. I'm going to say that they needed one stop, and I think Spillane might have helped them get one stop. He's been their leading tackler, their captain, their tone setter. So, look, I'm not going to say that the reason the defense didn't play well is because Spillane wasn't there. I mean, I thought, John brought up the 3rd and 14 where they gave up a touchdown. I mean, they were out of sync. Vrabel said yesterday there was miscommunication on the stunts up front. So, it's not just the personnel. There's miscommunication going on there as well. And when you don't have two of your most talented guys, this is what happens. I mean, you go back to 21, they had some talent on that defense too. It didn't matter. Josh Allen, did not punt against them that time. So look, their defense is still a work in progress. I don't think there's any question about that. They replaced a lot of pieces, and a lot of those pieces are missing right now. But at the same time, I think there's a long way to go. And this game to me just illustrated that, the Patriots aren't quite a top 3 team in the league just yet. They came a long way in 1 year, but this illustrates you need playmakers on defense to deal with an MVP quarterback. And they didn't have a couple of those guys, and the other guys that they did have out there didn't really play that way in that game. So to me, on the offense, Drake May, the defense, all of it just illustrated that there's still a ways to go for this Patriots team, but hopefully they take this lesson, build off of it, and finish strong with these last 3 games.
Yeah, in the regard of just needing that one play from that one guy, and I mentioned this yesterday, it reminded me of the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Now, in that case, you had your starting cornerback who was sitting for the entire game, and one stop would have changed that game. It's a little more distressing to think, oh, no, same situation, but it could have been Spillane being that one guy that you would have needed out there. I don't know. Maybe it gives you hope. You didn't need that much more. But I think your other point, Mike, is the biggest takeaway in that if you were to say, look, you're going to lose by 4 to the Bills in this game, and I've been saying for weeks that I did not expect the Patriots to win this one. Facing them for his second time, doesn't matter if it's at Gillette. They're a good team, and they seem to have figured things out lately. It's the way that they lost after the 21-0 lead, and then as you put it, and as I put it yesterday, kind of not exposing themselves, but at least illustrating the difference between a veteran team that's been there and can handle that situation as opposed to a team that may not quite be ready. At least they don't have the experience, and we've seen them finish off games before, but not against a team of this caliber, and that was my biggest takeaway. They're really good, and they're still headed to the playoffs, and who knows, but are they ready? Not as ready as I think a lot of people thought they were.
Yeah, this is a prime example of what a playoff game goes like. I mean, we've seen this game happen all the time in the playoffs where, the Patriots, they've been pretty good. They came out of the gate. I mean, that was probably the best first half I've seen them play overall until the very end. But these playoff games, they're back and forth. And if you don't score in the second half, which is, kind of a growing trend with this team is, sometimes, look, they took their foot off the gas, but overall, they're not scoring a lot, especially in the fourth quarter. And that's where playoff games are won. So, you hope that they take this lesson as this is what playoff games are like. And with Josh Allen, an MVP like that, you got to find a way to get a takeaway, to punch the ball out, to, get that critical stop to make a play. And it just, there wasn't enough plays being made, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But, the offense, they continued to score just a couple more times. They probably would have continued to outpace Josh Allen. That's a big step that Drake's going to have to take going forward here is when the game's on the line and it's in the clutch. You need to see that, Tom Brady gene where Tom Brady, if you gave him any time, you knew that there was going to be a chance that he was going to come back. And that's the same with all the elite quarterbacks right now. That's what makes them elite quarterbacks. So for Drake to really get into that conversation, I think that's the next, hill to conquer is him getting, his best play right at the end of the game.
Who's Gene? I know who Tom Brady is.
What did I say, Gene? They say the clutch Gene Simmons. I don't know, just the clutch Gene that you're,
there
the Tom
it
Brady
is.
seems.
There it is.
Seems like
he brought it right back to you, Fred. The Gene Simmons reference.
All right. After the game, we talked to. It's funny because we talked to a million guys that cover the Patriots, and the concerns that they raised was maybe this could give a blueprint. Now, look, they put up 21 points unanswered. So, look, I don't think this. I think. Obviously the Patriots proved they can hang with the Bills, and the Bills are one of the best teams in the AFC. This is certainly not a disaster. I wanted that out of the way. And nor am I don't even think this implies that. But people were concerned that maybe the Bills would give a blueprint on kind of how to slow the Patriots down. It seemed like they focused on Hunter Henry. They focused on Diggs. Both of them didn't really do anything. And the Bills said it after the game. They said that they were focused on those guys. Is that kind of a blueprint on how to stop this team? If you take those two guys away, that limits them?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that you take away his two favorite receivers, it's going to make life a little difficult. I mean,
but are they capable of what I'm saying, and I know that, May had those two runs. Obviously, you're making me sound like a fool. No, what I'm saying is, look. Yeah, but you're doing that by taking those two guys away. You're leaving other things open.
Yeah, can Keyshawn Boutte and Pop Douglas step up and make 5 catches for 80 yards?
I mean, Henderson broke a couple of really big runs, but can they take advantage of that, or is this a blueprint for other teams?
Yeah, well, I heard a clip before I came on of Beatles saying that, when Drake May's playing at an MVP level, you can overcome those things. And I think that's what we've seen over the course of the season. You've seen games where Diggs was quiet. You've seen games where Henry is quiet, but Drake's dropping pinpoint dimes down the field to Keyshawn Boutte for touchdowns. Those offset a lot of those problems. So I think that's definitely, how teams are going to approach it. That's how I'd approach it. You got to make sure you don't get beat by Diggs and Henry on third down. But if May can return to the form that he's playing, where he is passing the ball around, I mean, that's been one of the strengths of the whole season. As the Patriots defensive play caller, Zach Kurz said last week, great execution overcomes any scheme. So I think it just comes down to execution for Drake, getting back to that level, getting back to the accuracy. He just didn't really have it in the second half for whatever reason. Some of those throws were a little bit off, not what we're used to seeing. But again, I think that's the growing pains with a young quarterback. And as we get here into December, you're learning what playoff football and these kind of games that teams are really desperate. That's how it goes. So, again, I just think ultimately it's got to be something for Drake to build off of. He's got a long road ahead of him.
Well, he's 23. I think he's going to be okay. All right. Mike Dussault, no time to get to Jaws trivia. There's too much to talk about. Mike Dussault, thank you so much. Read him on Patriots.com and consume his content, please. He's producing it.
And an artist.
That's right. Mike Dussault, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I just want to... So 98.5 The Sports Hub Instagram account put up a video of you guys talking to Mike Reese. Now, it was obviously controversial. You got a real, hot, you got a lightning rod on.
Yeah.
Whatever you're talking about, it doesn't really...
It's going to go viral.
Here are the comments. Not having Spillane on the field. That's one. Williamson Spillane out is the big difference. I hate how they don't point out that we didn't have Robert Spillane in the game. Having Spillane will be, Milton obviously, but having Spillane back will be huge. It's like, dude, now you can't win without Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane is the difference between winning and losing. So Green Bay, they lost Micah Parsons, so the season's over. I mean, out of all the guys on the teams that you're going to lose, you can't afford to lose Robert Spillane, a mid-level inside linebacker.
On the defense, he's probably 4th or 5th on the depth chart of most valuable
You're missing
people.
Your left tackle.
Yeah.
You're missing your second best defensive player in Milton Williams, who's your big game changer on the line. These are big injuries. Robert Spillane being out is why you lost the game.
Yeah.
So if he's hurt, if he, for whatever reason, they signed a linebacker off a practice squad today, you've been seeing in your headlines.
Yep.
So say Spillane's out against the Ravens, they're cooked because they can't win without Robert Spillane.
No.
You understand my point.
Yes, I do.
I wasn't here yesterday. I don't think this is a negative for the Patriots. I think that they showed that they can hang with a very good team. And look, it's unfortunate how they lost, but losses happen, and they're going to win the division.
The most important thing is it's the unknown. They haven't faced any adversity for so long, and even when they lost those 2 games at the beginning of the season, that wasn't really adversity.
Well,
they
came back from that Steelers game and won 10 in a row, so I would argue with that. But nonetheless, look, the big thing that it hurts is they're probably not going to get the number 1 seed because they're a game and a half out, and I don't know. Denver's playing a Kansas City team with no Patrick Mahomes. I don't know.
Sure. Denver has tiebreaker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why it's a game and a half.
Yeah.
So, you would have to win. They'd have to lose 2, and you'd have to win 3. Yeah, all 3. So I don't know if that happens, but regardless, that's the thing that hurts you. Obviously, not having that bye. Then you got to play Houston maybe in the first round, and that's a tough game.
That's what it would be this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, obviously that's the negative. I don't think that this showed that the team's bad. I know that that's what people think I'm going to say. I don't. I thought the Patriots, showed that they belong on that field. They showed that they're as good as anyone in the AFC. That being said, it's the officiating and Spillane not being there. Guys, dudes are going to get hurt. More important people are hurt now than Spillane. that it's like you can't do that. You can't say our journeyman middle linebacker, who's a perfectly good player, but like we can't function defensively without him. Like that's why we lost a 21-point lead. Like Spillane goes down, the whole thing goes off the rails. Like no. Now, if you lost your left tackle and they were, the pressure rate was like this insane pressure rate and May couldn't get the ball out of his hand, then you go, oh, wow, yeah, that's a huge problem. Right. May gets hurt. That's a huge problem. You lose Christian Gonzalez and they play against some hot-ass wide receiver and that kid has like, a 200-yard game. That's understandable. Like, these are things, injuries that matter. Vrabel said it, your best players have to play their best games. Spillane's not your best. Come on.
Look, Fred, it's not easy for people like you to see the intricacies of the game like this. And I'm not surprised to say, like, oh, if your quarterback goes down, you can't score anymore. Yes, any numbskull could identify that. It takes a more, let's say, evolved football mind to understand and to see and recognize, then be able to verbalize how Spillane's absence was their undoing in the second half.
Counterpoint. The TV broadcast showed Spillane on the sidelines and talked about him on a couple of occasions during that game.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the uninitiated heard that conversation and then turned around and went, that's why we lost. That's my counterpoint to that.
I didn't see the game on TV. So
that's right. You were there.
As far as I know, you're making that up.
Fair enough. And that is my want. Perhaps I dreamt it.
I have no reason to believe that what you just said is truthful in any way.
We will break in 1 second, but I want to make one more point about Spillane. Where did Spillane play last year, Jonathan?
Raiders, I believe.
I mean, Raiders don't get number one pick if Spillane's still on that team. I mean, when a team like the Raiders can afford to let a guy go.
I know. They let Robert Spillane go.
You see what happened to the Raiders.
Wow, they went right in the tank.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
You're making my point.
Right. All right. It's just a few people, but it's a lot. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drink.
know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was a lonely poor shepherd asleep as he lay. He was born in a box, in a barn on some sand, and he walked out of there with
bad
some
religion.
hay in his hand.
All right, listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Patriot Place, which is a good Christmas gift. Oh, it's not 8 o'clock. I thought it was 8 o'clock. I got all wrapped up in it. We have some of the, coming up at 8 o'clock, we have some of the reactions from people when it was 21-0. As, anyone in their right mind would have thought that game was essentially over. I mean, I did. I certainly did. I didn't think there was any way Buffalo was coming back from 21 points down.
I thought it was more likely that the Pats were going to pile on and make it 28-0 before the Bills were going to get it back to a one-score game, which obviously we know that's what they did. But they were stopping the Bills. They really got bailed out, I think, on one call in the first half where the Bills were moving the ball. Otherwise, they were stopping them. And the weird thing is, Fred, they were stopping them more easily at the start of drives. As we saw later on, once they got down into the red zone, Bills could do whatever they wanted, which is the exact opposite of how most defenses work. Another reason why you're missing Robert Spillane.
Right.
But to think that once you get down inside the 25 and inside the 10, that's when it got really easy for the Bills to move the ball. What the hell is that? That's just that was just anomalous more than anything.
I will say I was never comfortable. I remember Allen missing a wide-open Dalton Kincaid on the first drive. It would have been a big gain, and I'm like, okay, they got lucky there. And I got even more nervous when Buffalo went down the field and made it 21-7. I'm like, okay, I recognize that guy. They might have held him down, but that was very easy, that first touchdown by Buffalo. I was uncomfortable at halftime, even though they were up 24-7. And then as soon as Buffalo went down the field and scored on that first drive of the third quarter, I knew the game was on. I was never convinced that the Patriots had put them away and they were going to run away with it. Never.
Now, and by the way, the Bills were missing people more important than Robert Spillane on their defense, but nonetheless.
Yes, Bedford was not there.
Well, Oliver wasn't playing.
That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of
Their
guys.
best defensive back was not on the field. That's
right.
true.
That was happening. But I'll ask you this. Do you guys think that the Bills are a better team than the Patriots?
No, I do not. I do not think that way. At worst, they're dead even. And this team can prove that they can play with them either there or here. And maybe playoff experience factors into it when we get to next month. But I'm not going to go into that game scared. No. The Patriots proved without a shadow of a doubt that they can stay with this team. Absolutely.
I think the Bills are a slightly better team. I think they've got a better quarterback. I think when you talk about the team and you have to factor in all things like special teams go into that equation. The experience of the roster factors into that equation. The head coach that's been there and has experienced things like this more than your head coach. And I'm not saying Vrabel got out-coached or that they got, outplayed from start to finish. But if you're asking me who the slightly better team is, it's the Bills. And I thought that 2 weeks ago, and I thought it again after Sunday. But the only thing I really take exception to, John, is your assertion. You said this yesterday. You said it again today. You got no problem going and playing them for a third time. Like, that doesn't bother you at all.
I didn't say they were going to blow them out. I said the two teams are even. I'm not scared of the game. I don't walk in there thinking the Patriots are going to lose. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what would make you wish for that team. Do you wish for that matchup?
No. I would rather play Pittsburgh than anybody. I don't want to play Houston.
Pittsburgh or Jacksonville.
Yeah.
People are all wetting themselves over Trevor Lawrence. I assure you. I didn't watch much of that game. I can assure you Trevor Lawrence basically playing against seven guys.
I'm not saying, I want Buffalo. We got to go play Buffalo. All I said was, I think the two teams are even, and Buffalo isn't clearly better.
The worst thing that happened on Sunday was Denver beat Green Bay. That was the worst thing that happened on Sunday.
Yeah,
and they beat Green Bay in a fashion where
yeah.
Knicks played pretty well for large portions of that game.
Yep. But Green Bay hung a ton of points on them, Fred. I thought you were watching that game just wondering how
the
could
Denver
this happen?
defense the last 4 games hasn't been very good.
Yeah.
And now I think that they're still a good defense.
They
but
just lost one of their better defensive players, too. That safety is a pec injury. He's out for the year.
I know. And it's like if they lost Spillane for the year, it would be a whole thing. Like
But
Denver's
for Green Bay to
cooked.
What, they scored 50, 60? I'm thinking, Fred was wrong.
No, Denver's defense has not been good, but that would scare me more about Denver is that Denver has won their last 4 games without their defense playing very well. That is...
Yeah, that's...
Bo Nix throwing 4 touchdown passes is unsettling.
It's in some ways more troubling, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely more troubling.
Yeah,
if you were scouting Denver and you went, they just have this elite defense and their offense sucks and they win every game by 16-14, then you would go, okay. But the idea that they've been winning games recently, having to put up points.
You see Bo Nix run around and make plays on Sunday? I swear to God, I watched that and I'm like, oh, man.
I think
I don't need this.
Sean
That's
Payton's
not
a good, really, really good coach. He's a bit of a prick, but he's a really, really good coach. And the thing is that I think he might realize that they just got to – whatever Knicks has been doing in the fourth quarter, you got to let him start doing throughout the game. Yeah. And when they're not – everything's not so scripted and he can play off script and he can move around.
You saw a lot of that.
And that's when he has success. So the thing to me is not getting the bye, which seems highly unlikely now, especially with Mahomes being injured and that team out. And I do want to get to some of the things that happened after the Kansas City game, including your media darling not speaking to the media until he could be on him and his bros podcast, which I've yet to meet anyone who listens to it. I asked a group of 16 men yesterday if anyone had heard that podcast because it was brought up, and no one had ever not even heard it, let alone sat and listened to it on a regular basis. So, he couldn't be bothered to talk to the media, Travis Kelce, after the game. The guys that have been covering him for 12 years. He couldn't talk to them. He was too upset. So then he had to go do his podcast with his brother the next day. But we have plenty of evidence of him being very proud of himself and very happy to talk when things are going well. I thought it was really bad that he didn't. This is just me. I thought it was really bad that he didn't talk to the media after that game. That hot dog, that guy that can't get enough.
Couldn't find a camera he wasn't friendly with.
That guy,
absolutely.
the minute things go wrong, that guy can't be bothered to talk to the media is just disgusting. Caller number 10 of the contest line, 6-1. And you notice I didn't even answer the question that I asked you to. I wanted to know what your opinions were. Caller number 10 of the contest line, 617-931-0985. Will win a $100 gift card to Patriot Place. Shop, dine, and celebrate the season at Patriot Place. From gifting, dining, outdoor skating, and more. Download the Advantage app today and plan your visit. Patriot Place. Shop, dine, enjoy the holidays. We will return.
6 by visiting Okers.com. Happy holidays from Okers, proud partner of your New England Patriots. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Takes the snap, rolling to his right. He's being chased by Judon. Drake May on the run to the 5. Gets away.
Drake May knows it.
Boston, I think it's the best sports city in the world.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right. So Kansas City lost, and they Mahomes is out. Chris Jones didn't know they were out of the playoffs. I suppose that it doesn't really matter if he knew or not. He's old. Kelce is obviously very old, but you know, when things are going good, Kelce talking all the time, Hardy, if you have some evidence of this.
Well, let me tell you, this Travis Kelce character, he's not just a football player, but he's also a bit of an historian.
Don't nobody know we represent and honor every single veteran that went to war for us in World War I. What's good?
See, it's not enough to just know football. You have to know your history. You have to know where you are.
Kansas City!
Yeah.
Make a little love!
Yeah, so he can't get enough. Obviously, you're aware of Travis Kelce outside of his...
Do a little dance!
I mean, he's engaged to the most famous woman in the world, which obviously helps. But, I mean, in terms of a self-promoter, there's no bigger self-promoter. Look, he's going to have a big career in media. He's been in movies. Like, I mean, there's all these things. It's paying off for him. But what happens after Kansas City loses on Sunday? The media, the guys that have covered him for 12 years, the Kansas City media, who is so beneath him, go to talk to, and he walks right out of the locker room. He can't be bothered to talk to anyone. Last game with Patrick Mahomes, probably. It's the last game he's ever going to play with Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Last pass of the game was intended to him. The end of the dynasty. And, you know, you have all this shared history. A dynasty, like a dynasty run. And if there's a second half of this dynasty, you're not going to be a part of it. Like, bittersweet, but hey, we've been with you this whole time.
And if he's got any amount of self-awareness or realization as to what's going on, these people are largely responsible for making you what you are.
Right, when you were a nobody.
In terms of a figure.
Well, yeah, when you were a nobody in coming out of your University of Cincinnati, you know, these were the guys that covered you. And you have zero time for them. But the next day, you can go with your dumb brother and make a boring podcast and discuss everything. And then you'll go, well, Fred, you want to get paid. No. He gets paid by the Kansas City Chiefs. That media has oogled and drooled all over him for 12 years. And the minute something goes wrong, he can't be bothered to talk to them. Like, how hard is it? Look, you didn't make the playoffs. What did you think you were? Like, this isn't... You know, someone didn't get shot in the locker room. Like, Mahomes got hurt in a football game. You're not making the playoffs. This is it. You're done. Like, could you talk to us? I just found it. I really did. I found it to be, even if I wasn't in media, and I don't talk, I'm not ever in a locker room anymore. Like, I wouldn't, it's just so, given his personality and all the times he's taken to grandstand and promote himself and be the big king of it all, that he can't be bothered after a historic, he's not going to play next year. This was it. And he can't talk to the media after the game because he's a baby. But then he'll turn around and talk for too long. Whatever it is, it's that many minutes too long. Him and his dumb brother will go chat it up on a podcast. It's very off-putting.
Yeah, and he knows exactly what it means to these beat reporters to get, just a question that they can use as their own, something for their content.
Well, he knows them all. Like, that's the thing is, like, he's known these guys for 12 years. They're in Kansas City. They're like, this is their livelihood. And I would imagine, oh, God, in Kansas City, 99.99% of the stuff about him has all been glowing. Mm-hmm. And, you have a personal relationship. I understand you're way more famous than that, which even makes it worse. And I understand you're like internationally famous now because of your girlfriend, but you can't just sit for 2 seconds and make a statement. Hey guys, Yeah, this is really rough. I need some time to process this. I feel really bad. Like, they don't need to say much. Just blowing them off. Yeah. Thanks, dude. 12 years, and this is it. And by the way, you're going to run around when you retire, and want everyone to fillet you. And now, if I'm one of those writers, I don't even want to talk to you.
See, that's the thing. You say he's going to have a successful career after this. My hope is that he just simply winds up being Taylor Swift's +1 at all the events that she goes to.
Well, that goes without saying.
No, but I mean, he turns into
but
that
John,
guy
I'd
who
hire
used
him.
to be.
I'd hire him.
Okay.
I'd hire him in 10 seconds. He's Taylor Swift's soon-to-be husband. Just by proxy, I toss him. I mean, they have Gronkowski who can't speak on pregame shows. I mean, and Kelce can talk. I mean, when he's not acting like a wrestler pretending that he's on Malibu's Most Wanted, which is what Chris Jones called him.
That's right.
They called him Malibu's Most
That's
Wanted
right.
when he first started.
That's right.
He's from suburban Cincinnati, but he's very urban. Essentially Mobb Deep from Queensboro Projects. It's essentially the same thing. He had the nice New York urban accent. It was really happening for him.
You know what's even worse?
That guy from Southern Ohio, yes.
The media didn't just pump him up. They treated him like a god because there's no basketball to cover there. There's no hockey to cover there. And they have two sports, and the two arenas for now share a parking lot. I mean, it's all condensed into one place. So he gets more coverage than a lot of other NFL players do.
No, they're in a market that's very easy to deal with, and you just would have thought that. I mean, to not remember that you were nobody when you came into the league, and these guys, you have been with you for over a decade, and that you're just not going to even give them that little crumb. And look, week 2, Mahomes gets hurt. He doesn't talk about it. Fine. But this is it. This is the end. This is the story. And instead of just giving them a nugget, you run off to your podcast. What I will tell you is no one's going to listen to that podcast. That I'll tell you. I'd hire him to do my TV in 10 seconds because just by proxy, he's going to be incredibly famous. He's going to be at every award show. Every time she performs, he gets on stage. That's a million eyes on him. I want him on my pregame. No, that podcast. And look, is the overexposure perhaps going to happen? Yes, I would imagine. Will that marriage last? Of course not. She's too famous. But I'm sure you played this yesterday. A lot of people very upset at Scott because this was the call when it was 21-0, the Patriots call.
Give to Travion, runs to the right, stop and start. He accelerates past the 40, 35, 40, 25, 20, chased by a pair of Bills who won't catch it. Touchdown, Patriots!
If you're a Buffalo Bills fan right now, what are you thinking? Your window is closed. There's a new AFC East champ, and they wear all blue here today. This is out the gate. What a block. What a formation. Deep handoff by Drake May to Travion Henderson. And the entire offense is celebrating in the end zone right now.
No, he got caught up in it. He got very too excited, and he jinxed it, really, for everyone.
Well, you call yourselves the new AFC East champ, and what other explanation do you have for them losing the game?
None.
Robert
Spillane not playing. Did you know that Dave Portnoy, who is the head of Barstool Sports, is a fan of the Patriots?
Yes, I've heard that.
Well, he went online.
Oh.
He went on the socials. So you talk about as odd as it is that Kelce didn't talk to the press, Dave Portnoy went on to the socials, and he had this to say.
We are destroying this team. We are destroying this team.
Okay, so anyway, he's my age in doing this. All right, so I just... At what point do you go, like, I don't have to film myself? I don't know if I have to film myself. He's a brilliant businessman, and it's all working, but I don't know if I want to be my agent filming my reactions to things in real time. I'd like to be enjoying them. I don't know. But the real story was on Twitter, and it was not in video form.
Okay.
Man by the name of Matt McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take you through the timeline of events, if you would, Adam. Matt McCarthy from this very radio station at 1:09. I don't think I have to explain what's happening in the game. You'll know by his tweets. Drake May with the most relatable block ever. He's just like us. He loves the theater and musicals and horticulture.
Antiquing.
He loves it all. Drake May is the most relatable blocker ever. He's just like us. That's my favorite Patriots drop since the Brady era. Pants off. I'm beating it.
Wow. Say that online?
Let me read that.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Pants off. Someone at this station started saying pants off, and it funneled down to everyone. The implication being that you're so excited you start masturbating. That is correct.
Yes.
If you're taking your pants off, you become aroused. And you are
Pants off,
so
pants
overly
off.
aroused you can't
Yes.
control yourself, so you frantically start masturbating. I like to clinically describe these things so
Sure.
people know the sentiment.
Right. I want to be any misinformation.
These men playing football have got you so aroused that you have to take your pants off and frantically masturbate like an animal.
You keep saying frantically. I think it could be more like a methodical masturbation.
No. This is like I can't control myself. This has to happen now.
You're in the moment.
Yeah, pants off, meaning like,
Hardy.
gotta get my pants off
You're in
and
the
start
moment.
masturbating.
You're feeling it.
Gee, but isn't it funny, like dumb things on the station, like start funneling? And McCarthy might be the first one who ever said it. And I really think McCarthy's really good on the air, and I feel the need to say this. He's just funny to me. Like, he's just, like, super passionate. It's a good thing. All this is a good thing. But it is, like, Felger or Maz or somebody said pants off. It doesn't funnel to middays or us, but it seems to funnel everywhere else. If you listen on the weekend, a lot of Felger Mazerisms all over the place. They're really the show being studied, and for good reason. But they seem to be like the totem of which everyone is
I hear
kneeling around.
everyone on the weekend saying Schmenzer. And I'm like, where did that come from?
No, but they say like fact, not fiction. They
Pork.
say it.
They all say pork?
They say pork.
They do say pork.
Absolutely.
All right.
Listen to the weekend show.
All right.
If I was air checking these guys, I'd be like, all right, start making up your own stuff. I really would. Okay, 1:15 p.m. If I'm a Bills fan, I'm apoplectic. Then McDermott, or more like McDummett, or McDunnett, already lost in a big game, is asleep and Vrabel is awake. McDermott's 6. 136. I'd fire McDermott at the quarterback. Why is he doing all of this? Just watch the game. I guess so. I'll read it.
No, keep that going. That was good.
No, it takes away from the impression.
Yeah.
I'd fire McDermott at the quarter break. This Bills team isn't ready to play. What a statement from the Pats. They want the hat and T-shirt.
Well, who doesn't?
And I'd like a bow tie for Christmas. Please, Santa. I'd like a nice seersucker for a nice garden
I
party.
just want a whole accessory kit. Suspenders and socks. I want them all to match.
I just want to be invited to the garden party. Can we make that happen? And tickets to Fiddler at 1:52 p.m. Has this Bills defense ever seen a shotgun draw getting absolutely gouged? I remember one time when old Hoss had a shotgun drawn at my head because I was saying all kinds of slanderous drivel. I was gossiping.
I'm an incurable gossip.
And I put my foot in my mouth on one more occasion. Hands up to God. And he's the only one I'm going to apologize to, and I'll handle that at the pearly gates. While I'm down here, thank you. I'll stick with my guns. 1:58. I take it things are still going well at 1:58.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall like the timing of it. I wasn't looking in the clock.
You got to figure it's about 21-0 by now.
An hour in?
Well, I mean,
it's been 21-0, but so Buffalo scored at the end of the first half.
Yeah, 21. Whatever. We're at the end of the second quarter.
21-7, and then I'm like, I get the ball back. Somebody get me a Buffalo phone book because I would like to find myself a florist.
I didn't see that one. That's pretty good.
You all use your Google machines. Just hand me a big fat phone book. And I'll have Jesse over here tear it in half because he does feats of strength. Jesse, tear the phone book for the people. He does feats of strength. He's part of a Bible group that goes to schools and tears stuff.
He wants a florist. That's great.
Yeah, because I'm looking to send my condolences to the Buffalo Bills.
Of course.
All right.
It's kind of a Righteous Gemstones vibe there with the
boy.
Warriors.
Yeah, I'm stealing with a bunch of stuff from all over. All right, 158. Somebody get me a Buffalo phone book. I need to start calling 716 numbers. I Googled the area code for accuracy. I need to start calling 716 numbers to conduct wellness checks. What an ass kicking! All right, there you go. Matt McCarthy. And then did he say anything after? Like, oh boy, I feel like a fool?
He did he took that last one.
Did he
and
just
kind
go,
of-
or did he pivot to the Red Sox not getting Alonso like that's some kind of travesty?
No,
That we all have to pretend Pete Alonso.
He's obviously talking about, but he said that he had an important engagement Sunday afternoon and evening that required him to miss the second half, but did pick up a Buffalo phone book on the way home, and will be asking the first person he calls for the final score.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the joke he was going for in that final tweet.
It's not even worth watching. I have an engagement. There was a salon at Professor Stanlick's house. We were going to discuss the worth of Tennessee Williams. Care to come? There's a question lingering. Would you care to come?
Oh, I thought it was rhetorical, Matt.
No, it's not. Huh?
I have an important engagement myself. Otherwise, I would attend.
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm going to a candle party. Would you like to come?
Well, listen, if we're a Macon, then I'm a foreign. All right, very good. Well, Matt McCarthy. Well, that's a shame. It was 21-0, and then it all fell apart right there. But nonetheless, again, I think the worst thing that happened is Denver beat Green Bay.
Isn't it enough to like kind of fall on the sword after the fact and come on the air whenever you're going to be on the air, or even tweet about it afterward if you feel so compelled to say, I thought they were going to win that game. To do it in the moment just seems to be tempting fate in a really needless way.
Like when Twitter first came out, it was like a new thing that you could just express yourself at all times, and it seemed like kind of novel. But here we are, like over a decade in, I'd imagine, or around a decade
longer.
And it's just I don't understand why. Like I don't understand why the engagement with strangers. Like it doesn't seem to help. It doesn't help like your career. I don't really think so. Like obviously having an online presence does, but it's not like Twitter. I don't know. I just don't know why you have to keep rattling stuff off. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't understand the impulse. Like, when you're watching games anymore, do you like go like, oh, I need to start tweeting about this?
It's more no, not for me. It's a way to siphon off anger, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just pissed about.
No. Like I
something.
get like once, but like to live tweet a game.
Oh, no.
I don't get it.
Not every 2 minutes.
And I
no.
certainly don't get like filming yourself, because just real quick, give me 10 seconds. Is that like every time you film a reaction, it's an inauthentic reaction. Right. Like if you're being filmed, it's inauthentic. Like you're doing it, you're being filmed. A video that would be interesting is someone taping you without your knowledge while you're freaking out or losing your mind, because that's an authentic reaction. Like anytime a camera's on you, you're in some way, at least subliminally, playing it up, like acting up for the camera. All right. Who's coming up next?
Mark Daniels is good enough to join us next.
Marky Daniels, because Callahan unfortunately had to miss the show today, so we will have Mark Daniels on in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallace?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports.
Hello, sir.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. I asked the fellows earlier in the show, who's the better team, Buffalo or New England?
Buffalo is the better team because they have the better quarterback. They have more experience. And I guess they had the better defense when it counted on Sunday. So I point to them. I think they have the better defensive line. But having the reigning MVP this time of year, and probably, I'd say James, although Travion Henderson's awesome, James Cook was the better running back too. So they had the better offensive weapon in James Cook, the better quarterback, Josh Allen, and I would say their defensive front was slightly better.
Okay,
Take that, John.
Okay.
So, we had I just asked this question to Mike Dussault, not to get you jealous, Mark, but he was on.
A little jealous.
I apologize. But I do like asking you guys similar questions because, the varying answers interest me. But during the course of the week, while we were talking to dudes that cover the team, there was a sentiment that, there was concern, what if the Buffalo blew them out? What if Buffalo wins? Like, what are you concerned about? And one of the concerns that was brought up is that if Buffalo kind of gives a blueprint to other teams on how to stop the Patriots. Now, in fairness, the Patriots scored a lot of points, but the second half was inefficient for them. I guess the strategy was to take away Diggs and to take away Hunter Henry. And so that might seem obvious, but it's what they did. And I guess other teams haven't done that because those guys have had big games, including the Buffalo game the first time where Diggs went nuts. Do you think that that's a blueprint that other teams could pull off? And if they try, what could the Patriots do to combat that?
Yeah, well, the Patriots need another pass catcher to step up. Since the Jets game where Diggs had 105 yards, he's gone for 2 for 20, 3 for 26, and again, 3 for 26. So Diggs in the last 3 weeks hasn't eclipsed the 30-yard mark. So something has definitely changed with the way teams are defending him, which, he's a good player. He's going to finish between 800 and 1,000 yards this season. And when that happens, we've seen in the past, Hunter Henry step up. But, yeah, I agree. What do they need to do? Well, it would be helpful if they could run the ball efficiently for 4 quarters, and that didn't really happen in the second half. I think the first drive in the third quarter, it was, a loss for negative yards, so you're behind the chains, and then Drake may get sacked on second or third down. So the blueprint is take away Diggs, take away Henry, put pressure on Drake May. What they need to do is run the ball efficiently for the entire game and have someone like Kayshon Boutte step up. Listen, if I was to tell another team, hey, the Pats are going to force feed Matt Collins, I think most teams would take that. And Matt Collins has been a fine third or fourth option, but he's not the guy you want leading you in targets. So the Patriots need other people to step up, but really they became one-dimensional in the second half because they couldn't run the ball efficiently, even though Travion had that awesome run. But, listen, that was like a home run hit, right? That wasn't something they planned. It was a run to the right. He hit a brick wall and then just cut back because he has that, game-breaking speed.
21 miles an hour.
Crazy.
I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell he was running fast.
Drake May, 20 miles an hour, running up the side.
Yeah.
So, lead blocker.
I like that because they could show the replay and show him outrunning everyone, but I do enjoy the speedometer on it.
I like it.
I had a guy over who was a Baltimore fan, and so we would turn to the Baltimore game during breaks, and he's like, you got to see this, because he'd watch it on his phone, and he's like, you got to see this. There's this like a touchdown you got to see. Like, it's crazy. Oh, it was the Van Noy handoff on the interception return. And they dicked around for like 5 minutes before they would show it. And then when they showed it, they had to have video game graphics of pointing to Van Noy and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, I would have liked to have seen this, when you had it. I like that you took 5 minutes to like throw a bunch of crap on there. Like, yes, good. The guy who intercepted the ball was standing there. Yes. Okay, good. There's too much crap like that. Go ahead.
All those things aside, Mark, do you fear the Patriots' inability to beat Buffalo in the playoffs, considering the 2 games between the 2 teams?
Yeah, I would say looking at all the playoff matchups, the Bills scare me the most because they're one of the few teams that have the edge at quarterback. They're one of the few teams that have, the experience needed at this time of year. And in December, January, you want a really solid run game to go with an elite quarterback. the last time the Pats won the Super Bowl, I mean, it was Sony Michel went off in December and January, and that's exactly what they needed to go along with having the greatest quarterback of all time. So if there's one, like don't get me wrong, playing in Denver against a good coach is going to be tough. Mile High Stadium is a tough place to play. I wouldn't want to play there on the road, but like Bo Nix doesn't scare me. Josh Allen scares me. So yeah, I mean, but if you were to tell me they'll come into the season, 2 games, the Pats split with the Bills, and they're 1 possession each, and leads change in the fourth quarter, I would absolutely take that. I mean, the Patriots have shown they can play they can beat the Bills. They've shown it. But come the playoffs, the last person I want to see is the reigning MVP.
But it does the way they've played the Bills does show you, though, that they could run the AFC. I mean, if the Bills are arguably the best team in the AFC, because like of what you just said about Denver, and Houston has struggled at times this year. That game, despite the loss, look, the worst thing that happened, I've said it a million times, but the worst thing I think that happened on Sunday was that Denver beat Green Bay, because that was a game that was going to be a stumbling block for them, and they got through that. That's a really tough team to beat. And, I mean, some people were saying that was the best team in the NFL. And so, they went ahead and did that, and Knicks played well in that game. But, look, their defense has been up and down, and obviously Knicks is quarterback. But this did show that I don't know if there's any game where there's certainly not a game or opponent in the playoffs where I would go, you can't win. Like where I would say that, especially at home.
That's more to my point. Even though they lost, the Patriots still can stay with this team.
Right. And I think that's a good takeaway from that game.
And I think it's a big thing watching these final 3 weeks is, can the Patriots hang on to this number 2 seed in the division so, they can play at home against the Texans? Because, like, say the Bills are right now, the Bills are the 6th seed. That means if they win, they would play Denver, which I think is the best roadmap for the Patriots, right? You avoid the Bills. Initially, the Bills have to play on the road in a tough environment, and you get the Texans, even though, they have a tough defense. But, I mean, you're going to play a tough team, But I like the Pats' odds against the Chargers, Steelers, Jaguars, Texans. Bring any of them to Gillette Stadium with Drake May, and I'll take it. But this is an interesting year, fellas, right? I mean, Pat Mahomes is out. The Chiefs are no longer the thing. So it's like, I think in a way, maybe the AFC runs through the Bills, Denver, or the Patriots now, but it's wide open, and the Patriots need to stay healthy, though. That's another big thing here.
Well, I'll tell you one more thing that I guess just I look at is oddly as a positive. A couple of people were saying before this game, you got to do a couple of things defensively to stop the Bills. And first and foremost, you got to, keep Josh Allen in the pocket. You can't let him go out and create. And you got to figure out a way to cover the tight ends. Well, they did neither one of those things in the second half, and still it was a 4-point game. If you were to tell me that Josh Allen was going to have his way with you in terms of being able to move around and get outside and make plays, and you're not going to have any luck covering their tight end, especially in the red zone, I think, this sounds like a blowout loss for the Patriots. No. They let go of the rope and they hung with them. So even though they failed to do those 2 key things, according to some people, Mark, it was still a close game. And oddly, I do look at that as a plus.
And another plus here would be that they didn't have Robert Spillane, their best linebacker, one of the best run stoppers in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, and they didn't have their best defensive lineman in Milton Williams. Now, since Milton Williams has been out, the Patriots' run defense has not been good. It went from the best in the NFL. We haven't allowed a running back to eclipse 50 yards to one of the worst post Milton Williams. So you didn't have your best defensive lineman, your best linebacker, who, according to PFF, is like the 18th best run stopper in the NFL, Robert Spillane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't have those 2 important guys, and you lost to the Bills by 4, in the fourth quarter. So, if you can get those guys back healthy, you get, Will Campbell back, that Vidarian Loaf false start was a big one, in the fourth quarter. If you can get your good players back, if you can stay healthy, I think the Pats have a shot against anyone in the AFC or maybe the NFL.
Yeah, okay, I have to be consistent, Mark. I'm not going to listen to or take lying down that Robert Spillane being injured is the difference between winning and losing a game. Ed Oliver didn't play in that. I mean, Buffalo was missing guys too.
Benford. Yeah.
Milton Williams, Will Campbell, these are losses. Journeyman middle linebacker, and I understand he's a quality middle linebacker, but guys are going to be hurt on every team. You got to be afford to. You got to. allow for yourself to one of your mid-tier players to get injured. That has to be allowed.
Scott Zolak tweeted, shows how stupid Wallach and Fred are. Okay?
Yeah.
Spillane is a leading tackler and starting Mike and hasn't missed a snap. Fifth best Wallach? Question mark?
Yeah.
He's the leading tackler. I wonder, what position does he play?
Robert Spillane is by far their best linebacker, and I don't think it's remotely close. So I would say you're not giving him enough credit. He's better than Christian Ellis and Jack Gibbons. And
I mean, listen. Now you've gone crazy.
Fair enough.
He's better than than Gibbons,
Gibbons and Ellis.
Christian Ellis and Gibbons.
Yeah, Zolak.
Right, like what's the weakest position on the Patriots defense? You could argue it's linebacker, and I would argue Robert Spillane is much better than everyone else, and at least according to Pro Football Focus, has been one of the best run-stopping linebackers in the NFL. That's if you like PFF. Not everyone does.
But I mean, I would imagine a middle linebacker would accumulate some tackles more than, say, a cornerback or even a defensive lineman. I would imagine that the middle linebacker's cleaning up a lot of stuff, but very good. The leading tackler on the team. Get out of here.
Spillane behind Barmore, Milton Williams, and Christian Gonzalez to start. And that's let me hunt around and see if I can find an argument for somebody else.
Well, I mean, would you rather be missing Carlton Davis or Robert Spillane?
Spillane. Yeah, thanks. Fifth.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Just keep digging yourselves deeper holes, guys. I mean, Zoe called you stupid. Mark Daniels, in his own nice way, called you stupid.
Let's do an exercise. Who wants to do this? Let's go through every AFC playoff team and see who they're missing. And see.
Yeah, Mark, why don't you run that for us?
Yeah, Mark. Call back at 9. Yeah, call back at 9:45.
You already joined us at a moment's notice, but we need a little bit more from you this morning.
Yeah, Mark.
It's my day off. Who needs to work here?
Be a nice guy and go. There's no days off, as you've learned
no
from
days off,
your ex-coach who's at cheerleading competitions. You but I mean, look, I don't want to harp on this. It won't be something for the rest of the week, but. I look, Spillane's a good player. Let's go through every AFC team that won on Sunday and figure out who they were missing. And if Spillane, the journeyman linebacker, is somewhere on the same level. Say Ed Oliver, who the Bills didn't have, is a good tackler. We'll have to research his tackles, but we'll see where that goes. All right, anyway, Mark Daniels, Mass Live, excellent job.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
And for the record, I think the Patriots proved themselves quite well on Sunday, and I do believe that. All right, Mark, thank you so much for the time.
All right, guys, have a good one.
We appreciate it. There you go. There you have it. Let me just look real quick. Ed Oliver, he's on injured reserve. This year he has played, I don't know, I'm going to have to find it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider. Oh, this Winger.
Yeah, thank you, John.
That's good.
This is delightful. Kip Winger has a Santa Claus hat on with his name on it.
Yeah, it's having fun.
Nice.
Does it say Kip?
It says Kip, of course.
Listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a 4-pack of passes to Neshoba Valley ski area at Oliver. In the 3 games he's played this season, he had 12 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. And they managed without him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's no Spillane.
No.
But I'm just telling you that players do seem to get injured this time of year. And your left tackle and your high-priced defensive linemen, I would say, are far more responsible than anything else than Robert Spillane. That's where I draw the line. All right, well, Hardy, I took a picture on Sunday. Speaking of our man upstairs, God, G-D, if you're reading the Gary Goldman book, who stands by his Judaism by not writing out the word God throughout the whole book. And he refers to God on multiple occasions, maybe 1,000, but it's always G/D.
Are you listening to it or reading it?
Reading. I read it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I usually listen to nonfiction and read fiction because the dance of the letters is part of the game. I'm just kidding. But no, I can't listen to fiction because I can't follow a story. Like I got to be able to like zone out. It's fine with me. That's why I'll listen to any biography. It doesn't matter who it's about. It just noise in my ears to keep my thoughts at bay. But I did go to church again. That's 2 weeks in a row. And then I will not be at church this Sunday, but I will be at church because I will be in Tennessee. But I will be at church.
Oh, they don't have any churches in Tennessee.
Not like the one I go to. There was a baptism.
There's nothing but churches in Tennessee. You being in Tennessee is not an excuse to
I'm going to go on
church.
Christmas Eve.
Attaboy.
Okay, what about this Sunday? I didn't ask about Christmas
That'd be
Eve.
double stacking, and Daddy don't play that. Unless it's my home turf, I'll be on a visiting field. I only can go in for Christmas Eve, where they went Adam and Eve last Christmas Eve service, which was a little odd. It's a Southern church, so they have, it's like a $50 million building with like these huge movie screens, and it's the Village Church. It's like non-denominational, but they have these two, and they were showing these like horrific Adam and Eve like images, and it's like Merry Christmas, everyone. I don't really know why they chose that. Yeah, they went Revelations on the people,
Well,
or Genesis on the people, rather Genesis on the people. In fact, they played no reply at all. It's that front and back.
Was it accurate? Were they minimally closed, Adam and Eve?
I was just like, why did I take my kids here? Like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point is, like, it's kind of like...
Baby Jesus, 3 wise men.
I do it for my mom, but, like, the thing is that, like, I remember when I was a kid and I was, like, in the choir and stuff like that, you put a little cantata on, You put a little cantata on. I told you the story about me being...
Is that the thing with the egg and the potatoes?
No, cantata is a musical
frittata.
performance.
Oh.
Did I tell you the story about... so I was singing... My mom made me sing in the choir at church when I was a little kid. And one day she came in to a practice of the choir, and I was singing. And afterwards, she goes up to... Apparently, without my knowledge, she goes to the choir instructor, and she goes, you know what? Freddie's really bad. You don't have to have him sing.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, I'm probably like 7 or 8 years old. So after the cantata is over, we perform. But I didn't know this happened. And after the cantata is over, in the lady that ran the cantata, smoking like Camel on filters and stuff during the whole thing. My mom goes up to me. She goes, Freddie, you were great. I go, thanks. She goes, yeah, I thought you were going to be terrible, and I told him to take you out of it because you were so bad.
Speaking of revelations, this might explain more than anything you've said on the air in the last 20 years.
She said, she's like, I was so surprised because I heard you practicing, and it was so bad that I told the choir teacher, to take you out, but then you did really well today. And I went, thank you for that vote of confidence.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been hiding that. Have you ever told this before?
No.
No, I have. I've told it at least once. Yeah, I have. Haven't I, Nick?
I've never heard this.
Not with me. I would have remembered that.
Oh, you can call my mom right now and ask her.
No, I'm
I
not
swear
saying
to God,
it
it's
didn't happen.
true.
What I'm saying is you haven't told it on this show. Maybe on the BCN show.
My mom's might be listening, but it's too old to put my mom on the air and
So
do this.
all of
She's
these-
too old. I don't want to I don't want to make her
I
feel
would have
bad.
remembered that story.
So
But-
your legion of narcissistic and egomaniacal tendencies that people point to and talk about behind your back constantly that lead you to believe that lead you to believe that people are talking about you behind your back and are out to get you has its root in something very real, where the most trusted figure in your life went behind your back to undermine you and belittle you and criticize you to really a completely unbelievable degree.
Well, first of all, if I thought everyone was going behind my back and doing things against me, I would have been way more prepared for the 2 years ago. I didn't have any knowledge that anyone was going behind my back. That's completely a mischaracterization of me. Are you crazy? I'll put up with a lot, and I have a lot of flaws. I'm not paranoid. I didn't think in fact, I don't think anyone's ever doing anything behind my back. I'm sure people talk crap about me. I'm very outspoken. And I'm sure, and I know I have probably I'm an only child narcissistic tendencies. For sure. But I mean, that's not one of them.
No, how about the idea that people are criticizing you unfairly, which we all feel at some point. It's I don't know why people would say that about me. Oh, I know why you feel that way, Fred. If you were
sure, that's more fair. Yeah.
If you
that's more on the money.
If you feel as an adult that people are taking unnecessary shots at you, I know where that comes from now.
Yeah, that would probably be it from it. That would be it. Yeah, I got a lot of these.
That's
Christmas
unconscionable.
Well, don't say that. She could be listening. Listen, we all survived.
I still like your mom a lot, though.
My mom's a lovely lady.
The handful of times I've talked to her, she is so lovely and so nice and engaging, and nothing like you make her out to be in your caricatures of her.
Right. No, she's a lovely woman. I love my mother very much. But no, there is this thing with her that, like, let's stave off the failure. Like, ultimately, this is all going to end badly. So let's, like, kind of, like, pull the plug on this before it does. Not big defenders of me growing up, my parents.
I'm getting that.
My parents were not ones to step in and, like, take a stand for the boy. It was more just like.
I remember you telling a story about how she showed up you had done something in school, and she immediately turned to you and screamed, "What did you do wrong?"
Well, no, that was when I got hit in the head with the gun.
Oh, that's right, when you were attacked.
And I came home with blood streaming down
What
my
did you
face.
do
And my mom goes, "What did you do? What did you do to get?" And I got hit with a gun. She goes, "What did you do? What did you do to make them do that to you?"
That's what it was.
To make them do that to you.
Yes.
Well, Mom, I was robbing a store. And the guy behind the counter shot me in the head because I was pulling off felony robbery. Well, I'm glad that finally some sympathy from over here, from the peanut gallery.
That's what it took.
All right. So
It's like a jigsaw puzzle piece fitting into place.
By the way, I have a development in the neighborhood that is going to. I'm going to be distracted.
Okay, very good. Someone's put up a mailbox.
No, this is much bigger.
Oh.
I'll tell you.
Ooh,
I'll
a construction project. All right. Car number 10, the contest line 617-931-0985. You win a 4-pack of passes to go snow tubing, which is a lot of fun at Neshoba Valley Ski Area. And if I even like that, I don't ski. Neshoba Valley Ski Area and a $50 gift card to the Outlook restaurant. Visit skineshoba.com.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
Still emotional.
Is this Jonathan Richmond?
And so does Monica, but my friend Monica's got the blues.
It's a gentleman who goes by Huffamoose. This is a song about Hanukkah and Christmas hand in hand because it's Hanukkah now, Fred. But you knew that.
Yeah, my ex-wife was scrambling to get some garbage for my kids to pass off a Hanukkah gift.
Get some guilt, chocolate guilt, all that stuff.
But I'm not. This is actually what she was doing. She would tell you the same thing. She was like scrambling because we get them a lot of stuff for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the big day. She obviously doesn't give them 8 nights of presents because that would be insane. They wouldn't want that anyway. And so she just was like, what should I get Milo? I got to give him something tonight. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you. I want to look like the cool guy. I want to get him the best gift. I don't play this Hanukkah nonsense.
Or get to Walgreens.
Like my father, go to Kmart, get some vacuum bags and tennis balls and really get that.
Let me tell you, last minute, that as seen on TV aisle, not bad. You find some gems in there.
Yeah, and especially if you give them to a lady, that's going to be.
Give her some compression copper socks.
You go, you look old.
I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
You look like you have varicose veins. Could probably use these. What's going on, Hardy? That's the emergency.
Just very quickly, apparently, there's on our street there is a retention area where all the water, all the drain off from all the homes is supposed to go into this discharge system, be collected in this area. As most new builds are required to have these things, at least in our town.
Sewage?
It's not sewage. It's rainwater runoff. It's not not as filthy as you would like. But the area has become, overgrown. It needs to be maintained. And apparently there is a crew there today taking down the brush and all the stuff in this area. And I imagine they're using these big chewer crawler things that just eat up everything in its wake. And then, that forget about just like weeds. These can take down saplings and even larger trees, and just everything gets chewed up and spit out, and then it's got to be hauled away. And I'm missing it. And
Would you now? Is this a linger at the window deal if you could see it, or is this a walk down the street and observe type of thing?
So the angle from my house is terrible for looking at this. So I've already alerted one neighbor. You may see me in your front yard later, and if the dog is out, I'll bring my dog down, and we'll just kind of and I'll be there under the guise of letting the dogs play. But I've also asked, in our neighborhood text chat, you can see all the people on this chat, Fred. Look at the number of,
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of people on this, and just an open-ended question: can someone send me some Ring camera, or phone video? Maybe send up a drone. Just, something to get, to wet my whistle as I sit here for another hour. And I'm missing this. I can't believe I'm missing it.
No meeting after the show. Hardy needs to get
That's
post-haste.
fair.
I'll take it. No, I'll do it in the car. I'll do it on the car.
All right, so very good. Ryan Johnston is, of course, our good friend, and he is the voice of your Boston Bruins. Hello, Ryan.
Let Hardy out of the show early. Come on. He doesn't need to be here for the last 45 minutes.
I'm not his boss. I mean, if Hardy wants to get up and leave, believe me, I have.
Maybe I've got diarrhea.
Well, I do. I just went number one in a urinal, and it was a whole adventure.
We covered this earlier.
we
covered this earlier in the podcast, Ryan. You can go back and check it out.
It was a real.
You start pushing and contracting below the waist, and who knows what's going to happen.
The flow was disrupted several times, if you must know, ladies. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this Quinn Hughes trade. The Wild, they killed Boston the other night, whatever. Boston obviously had a really good road trip, all things considered. But Quinn Hughes, they're saying this is one of like the biggest trades, in-season trades ever in hockey.
Hughes just won the Norris, right?
Yeah, he won the Norris 2024, so going back a couple of years. But, he's the real deal. We were talking about it on our broadcast the other day, obviously a lot, and Beersy says he thinks he's the number 2 defenseman in the league behind Cale Makar. I mean, it's that level of a trade, and I don't think Cale Makar is moving out of Colorado anytime soon. So it was a hell of a swing that Bill Guerin, the GM there, pulled off in Minnesota. I don't think they were on too many people's radar. Seemed like Hughes was bound for the Eastern Conference. A lot of people maybe expected him to end up with his brothers in New Jersey, but Guerin sweeps in, gave up the equivalent of essentially 4 first-round picks for him.
And there's no guarantee that they can keep him, right? Like the Hughes doesn't have a long time left on his contract.
Yeah, so his contract runs through next season, which means that this summer the window opens for them to potentially sign him. Now, that gives them obviously a jump on everybody else, but there's also the collective bargaining agreement. The new one kicks in September, so the new rules come in, and that will shrink the maximum contract from 8 years back to 7 years. So if they can sign him between July 1 and September, or whenever the window is, whatever the date is that the window opens, but they basically have until mid-September, they can get him to an 8-year contract going forward instead of 7. So they've got a couple of things going in their favor, and based on Guerin's statements the other day, based on Hughes after the game the other day, it sounds like listen, it'll take some time for them to work it out, but I won't be surprised when he signs there, because it's just too much to turn down, and it's a great hockey market, and I think it sounds like he's going to be pretty happy there.
Yeah, because the talk was he would want to go to New Jersey or Detroit because he grew up in Detroit or around Detroit, right, or Windsor or something,
right.
And or wanted to go play with his brother. So that was the big thing, but. It was certainly an interesting move, and I'll tell you, he flew right there and started playing. It was something else. All right.
I don't know, just real quick, I don't know if you guys had seen the story. His equipment almost didn't make the trip, it didn't make the trip. He happened to be, Vancouver was playing in New Jersey, so he's hanging out with his brothers. His brother Jack gives him a ride to the airport, and they forgot to get the equipment bag out of the trunk of the car.
Oh, come on.
And so Bill Guerin flies all the way out to Jersey, picks him up. They fly all the way back to Minnesota. They land, and they realize he doesn't have his equipment with him. And so they had to get the equipment overnighted back from New Jersey and got to Minnesota, I guess, shortly before game time the other day.
That's not surprising. I mean, put some other equipment on, kid. Get out there. All right, so I saw something interesting. The Bruins are linked in a possible trade with Toronto for a guy that doesn't play for Toronto. He's a forward. I'll have to get more information on this. I just thought of it when I pulled up this Cam Neely article. But Cam Neely talked to Jim McBride from the Globe out there in Minnesota, and Cam was saying how happy he is with the way they're calling it a restructuring, but it's obviously it was a rebuild that has ended up taking off a little bit more than expected. Is this sustainable?
I don't know why it's not. At this point, we're closing in on the halfway point of the season, and it seems pretty sustainable to me. I think the guy you're talking about is Matthias Michelli up in Toronto.
Yeah.
Kind of fallen out of favor there. I haven't looked too much into it, but listen, the management here in Boston has done a really good job, and this is part of the reason I think that they've gotten into the place that they're in this year, of identifying players in other organizations who maybe aren't getting the chances that they should, or have fallen out of favor, or coaches see them in a different way. I mean, certainly Morgan Geekie's at the top of that list for everybody. A guy who had never put up anywhere near the numbers that he's put up here in Boston. They have found these guys that have something more to give. Alex Steves is another guy. They signed him. He had been in the Maple Leafs organization and really couldn't get a crack at the NHL level because of what their forward situation is up there. But he's one of the best scorers in the American Hockey League. He comes here. They start him in Providence, and when they bring him up, he's been able to make a meaningful impact on this team. And so, the way that they've gone about this, retooling, restructuring, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, is they're bringing in, not just guys who are filling spots, but guys who can give you quality minutes. And that goes for both the NHL and the AHL levels. They've been able to bring in guys, Jonathan Aspro is another example, who's unfortunately got hurt the other night. But, he's a guy who never got a shot in the minor leagues until he signs with Boston. injuries are what they are. He gets called up, and he's been really good here for the 19 or 20 games that he's been up. So, that's a big feather in the cap of Don Sweeney and Cam Neely and their scouting staff, that they found these kind of diamonds in a rough that other organizations aren't using the right way.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. Okay, this is an interesting quagmire. Say gets to the trade deadline, you're a handful of games over 500. You're very much in the playoff. You're in playoff positioning. Okay, you're not selling, I would imagine. Let's just start with that. You're not selling, right? If you're in the playoff, you're not a seller at the deadline. Would you say that?
Yeah, I would doubt that.
I would hope as a fan you're not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I would hope for the guys in the room who are working their asses off every night. I think you would have a difficult time walking in there and trying to explain why you were selling off parts.
Right. Okay, so here comes the interesting part. Do you give up now draft capital again to go out and try to improve yourself this year?
So my thinking on that would be probably nothing serious unless the move that you make is going to impact you well for the long term, right? I mean, if you've got the ability to acquire a heavy talent that is under contract or that you're going to be able to lock up long term, then you might think about doing that. But unless you're really feeling like you've got a legitimate shot of winning the Stanley Cup this year, I would imagine that they'd be hesitant to part with too much at the deadline as far as draft capital or futures, just because they are still, as nice as this season has been right now, they're still on the upslope here. They're not, under the gun to try to win a cup this year. Now, if they're, if they go on a run here where they win, 15 of the next 20 and they're, top of the Eastern Conference and it looks like they've actually got a shot, then maybe that changes. But right now, I would imagine not.
Yeah, I would hope not. It just seems like you don't want to fall into those habits again. You just went out of your way to get rid of people to get draft capital, and now you don't want to start moving it around. Like, at least, stick with that a little bit. All right, I almost be hesitant to trade for a veteran that you could keep for a while, too. I would. It just seems like you went so long without replenishing anything that
it's also time to figure out about the Fabian Lizels, the Merkeloffs, all those guys. I mean, Can they play? Can they not play?
Yeah. All right. Well, Ryan Johnston, you're on the way to morning skate.
I am going to go see what's going on with the team since they had a day off yesterday. Talked to Marco Sturm this morning, and he got a couple of injuries on the road trip with Aspero and Arvidsson, so hopefully we'll get some updates on them today. And I also want to see. I've heard some rumblings, Fred, about the potential of Robert Spillane dressing tonight. He's a generational.
That would change
talent,
anything.
So,
that would change everything.
I want to make sure that that he's ready to go and see what he can bring to the team.
It's like that would throw off the whole Mammoth game plan. Is that then you would have to account for Robert Spillane on the ice, and that would make. I mean, it's like Connor McDavid. Really? Connor McDavid and then Spillane.
Yeah, there's the conversation ends at 2.
Spillane is the Connor McDavid of football. All right, Ryan Johnston. Well, enjoy the original 6 matchup tonight as the Mammoth come into town. Arch enemy Mammoth come into town. Thank you,
They're not
Ryan.
selling this as a rivalry night, are they? Because I remember a couple of years ago the Bruins and Wild were playing a rivalry night. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
I know. Yes, it was quite a show the other night. All right, well, the Mammoth are in town. Pregame at 6:30. Listen to Ryan call the game tonight right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Thank you, Ryan.
Have a great day, guys.
I appreciate it. You
Still
too.
a P1. Still a P1.
Yeah. It just, he knows, he's done radio long enough. The Spillane stuff's really going to stick with people, and and Hardy was saying it off air, it's going to piss people off. It pisses Scott off. It just pisses people off. Idiots. Robert Spillane. Okay, yeah. All right, Robert Spillane. He's the best. They can't win without him. If he doesn't get better, I mean, you cancel your trips.
Why even watch?
Exactly. Like, I mean,
why even watch?
I mean, this station
he
is
doesn't
really
play
going to
against
look like
Baltimore this weekend. You know what? That could probably move the line 2 or 3 points.
Well, I guess they have the midday show maybe going out to the Super Bowl, and that will just be foolish.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't book that trip if Spillane's hurt. Just enough. I might actually go through the exercise today of going through every team that's a playoff eligible team and saying every defensive player that's hurt on their teams, which will be, 5 or 6 on every team. And then we can statistically put them up against Robert Spillane and see who's in the worst shape. I mean, Denver played without the defensive player of the year for like 6 games this year. All right. Okay. Yeah, Spillane, you can't win. That was the difference. Well, they were okay. They weren't stopping the run before he got hurt. They weren't stopping the run against Buffalo. All right, very good. We'll be back in just a moment.
More.
Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and if you want to get our email addresses, look no further than 985thesportshub.com. You can email us from there, and then if you are someone who loves social media, go to @Toucher and Hardy on all the socials, @Hardy985, and of course, the holiest of all of them, @Fred Toucher, where you can see footage of me standing outside of a church actively trolling Hardy.
Yeah.
Much to my delight.
Look,
I wrote you a check today. Pull the check out of your pocket and read what the memo says. Do it now. Do it now. He's taking out his money clip. He does not carry a wallet. Like everyone else, I carry a huge wallet like an old man.
Mm-hmm.
The memo says, can you read the writing?
Yes. Under the memo, it says funds meant for church.
Yes, these are only to be. This check is to be handed over.
Now I'm not going to be able to deposit it.
The money's
unless you
earmarked for
transfer
God.
it over to a church.
Right.
Yeah. Money is earmarked for God, sir. You can't spend that.
Yeah. So I look forward to whatever denomination you are doing that. I told a story. These are just text messages I've got, and I told a story about my mother telling the choir director when I was a little kid how bad I was at singing. She had her green light to pull me out of the whole thing if that was her want. And Dan Roach says that was so sad, Fred.
Oh,
with a crying emoji.
Oh, that's too bad.
Be real. As I gave Adam 12 for Christmas, I gave as well as many other things. I gave him some garbage radio station tote bag that he likes. I donated money to them.
Thank you.
Which is not even tax deductible. So it was just giving them money for no reason. Not even get a tax break. Be real says, I'm a little late on this, but isn't it possible that a mere donation to a radio station in Adam's name could be the demise of said radio station? That is a good point.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it would have died by now.
Yeah.
If it was going to die based on the programming. Yes,
okay.
Jonathan.
I have an email here. It said, gentlemen, I meant to send this sooner giving Fred's return, but over the weekend I heard the worst Christmas song ever written. It is performed by Jimmy Fallon. It's called Ugly Sweater. He's pushing the album on his own Sirius channel, in which he puts on a Southern country singer accent and performs an awful duet. I had Adam pull this song to get your reaction from it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's a real last name. Jimmy Fallon, if you have satellite radio, which very few of you do, but Hardy works for him. He doesn't like when I insult it. But I have it. You'll hear commercials for Jimmy Fallon's Christmas channel. And then I say, well, they should take the driver's license of anyone that you should get pulled over if you put that on, and they should take away your driver's license.
No, I make fun of it myself on satellite radio because they want us to do these cross promotions. So like, please talk about the holiday channels at least twice per show. So they give us the list of the holiday channels. And I mean, typical break from last week and be like, all right, so there's Kids Christmas. That sounds like a nightmare. Jimmy Fallon's Christmas channel, and then I read the whole thing. And I said something to the same effect, like, that sounds like maybe the worst thing that satellite radio has ever put out there. If for some reason you want to, or in maybe more likely forced to listen to this, here's the channel number, but I can't imagine why you would go there.
Can I ask you a question? Like, I like the classic. I've found myself listening to the classic rewind station.
I like that.
And they have jocks, and they sound like what I imagine jocks in the early 80s sounded like. I don't really. And I like it. Like, I like disc jockeys. I like them. Why don't you just have a bunch of Christmas channels and just have disc jockeys on them? Why does it have to be Jimmy Fallon's Christmas channel? Oh, man, I wish I ran that company. I'd straighten that thing out in 2 seconds. Why are you paying him? I'm telling you, no one wants to hear Jimmy Fallon's Christmas channel. They want to hear Christmas channels. So have Christmas channels. Get bumpers from the artists. Get them talking about how they made the Christmas song. There's a lot of innovative ways that you could make the product better than just playing songs.
Is there I mean, that Jimmy Fallon is a big star. This is a guy who makes a lot of money.
Sure.
He's a big deal. Okay. is there any chance that his ego is at such a place where in some kind of JOA thing between Sirius and NBC Universal, they're getting him to do this and he's not getting compensated? Like, would he do this just to put
pimp
himself
an album, though?
to pimp himself and to, like, this is the same guy who shows up at random bars in upstate New York and takes over the karaoke and gets on stage with the band, and no one's paying him to do that either.
Literally been alleged to be a very problem drinker. That is, I'm not making that
right.
up.
So
listen,
and to answer just the business side of it, is there a chance he's doing it for nothing?
Yeah, maybe because he not stupidly, because he's already sold himself out so much. I think he has been actively trying to make Christmas albums, which does make sense because if you can hit with a song, you're set for life. I mean, Mariah Carey could have no canon in just that Christmas song of hers, and I would imagine she would be incredibly wealthy for the rest of her life. The thing is, if I'm serious, I'd turn it down. I'm not kidding. I'd be like, this is completely unnecessary. Like, this is belittling the audience. Like, he doesn't have any association with Christmas. He's forcing in these songs of his. I would rather have 4 Christmas channels and then again, if these artists are living artists, hey, we're going to play your song a lot. Could you tell us about, like, the making of it, why you made it, and, like, have these, like, interesting things, or have someone somehow associated with Christmas. For instance, like a Mariah, I know you couldn't get her, but like a Mariah Carey channel, or who else has a big Christmas song? Someone like they have a Beatles channel, like, Paul McCartney talks about making the Christmas song. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I understand. I do understand what you're saying, Fred. And just to hop in, like, that part's almost second. I like it. It's creative, but it's almost secondary. Like, there's no more nostalgic, emotional music for human beings than holiday music.
I know. I'm just saying that I value, like, production around the songs.
I do.
Like,
I do too.
So it's not just a jukebox. That there's, like, actually something going on.
But you could just still do the jukebox, and you could do 6 different styles, 6 different subgenres of Christmas music, and you would get so many people listening to it, and not this tripe that Fallon is putting out.
It's just that people pee away so much money on getting non-audio people's names on things, and it never works. It tanked Odyssey when they tried to shift the podcast and they started giving a bunch of celebrities. Remember when they gave Whoopi Goldberg a national morning show? David Lee Roth a national morning show? Like, they give these people shows and they're not good at being on the radio.
David Lee Roth had a morning show?
Yeah, very good one. He would read the funnies when he got mad. So not only do they have a no talent that had no business in hosting a radio show, they had one that was obstinate and wouldn't listen.
Yeah!
It would pout. So that was good too.
Oh, God!
He was so uncreative that he had all of New York, all of Philadelphia, all of Boston. He had all these big cities in a big bullhorn. And when he got pissed, his thing was to sulk and read the funny pages. I understand being mad, but be mad and be funny about it. Like, be mad and, like, be, like, going crazy. Just to pout on the air. Like, you have this megaphone. Like, if you want to take them down, man. Go nuts. Your strategy is to pout and to, like, just read Marmaduke, and it's not even funny.
All right, so I can't even count, but I will tell you what I've stopped at in my counting. The number of holiday channels on SiriusXM between genres and holiday artist stations. How many am I up to? And when I stopped counting? So again,
30.
50.
Wow.
Oh my God!
How have I not asked this before? You work there. You get me a free subscription.
So for the genres, you've got holiday road trip, Billboard holiday countdown, Radio Hanukkah, Country Christmas, Jingle Bop Bash. There's the R&B channel. There's the Kids Christmas. There, all that stuff. The holiday artist stations: Bing Crosby, Andy Williams, Michael Bublé, Vince Guaraldi, the Carpenters,
I like Vince Guaraldi,
Dean Martin, Alan Jackson, Lindsey Sterling, for King and Country in Sync holiday station.
Those all make more sense.
Casey Musgraves, Disney, Burl Ives, Carrie Underwood. It just goes on.
I can't find them, so there they are. Jay, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I actually work at an employer that uses Sirius XM over the loudspeakers, and they have the Jimmy Fallon radio station on all day, every day.
Oh,
why?
Why? Damn it.
I don't understand why. I will say there's a couple benefits to it, one of which is that they do have a Springsteen cover of a Christmas song. Now, the other benefit, being a Jewish person, I never really got into Christmas music. They do play Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song every day, at least once.
Which would be impossible without Jimmy Fallon's presence. And I imagine he brings the
There's
yucks pretty good. Thank you, Jay. This caught my attention. It said, you got this too, Artie. Apology to Lifshats with a question mark. Hi, guys. I did not have Fred defending medical hucksters on my bingo card. After ridiculing Lifshats for his earthing theory, sorry for being a pompous researcher in biomedicine. I knew this would happen. But zero tolerance for hucksters. Never anything good comes for it. Finally listening the same day, although 3 hours late on the podcast. It's not hucksters. I'm just saying that sometimes I'm not. It's really not hucksters. Is that sometimes when a doctor says there is a theory that is often dismissed out of hand. And I made a point of saying it's not like some vaccine denial or anything like that. It's just that, especially with mental health, which I think the research would agree is centuries behind every other kind of health. I just said when they were scanning the brains, it didn't seem that dumb to me, and it seemed rather harmless
at all.
It's not standing on the ground with your shoes off is going to restructure your atoms.
Molecular structure of your like cells.
I realized when I was saying it that it was coming off that way, so I apologize, Giuliano, but that was not my intention.
No.
There you go.
Adam said a worse song than the Fallon one is that we know about this one, but I'm just bringing it up again. The Applebee's Country Guy and the Christmas song Fancy Like Christmas.
There's no way he took the Applebee's song and turned it into a Christmas
I
song.
have multiple emails that tell me that's true.
That cheapens the whole Applebee's song.
Yep.
It was bad enough when Applebee's used it in a commercial, which I thought was...
That was a stretch, and I don't know how they got clearance for that. How that guy allowed that to happen.
It's like the first time you heard like Iggy and the Stooges in an ad, and you're like, dude.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, this is just corporate greed.
It was like the Beatles being used in the Nike commercial. We're like, well, I guess it's over now.
Yeah, so much for the revolution.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Applebee's is using the Applebee's song, which wasn't the intention of that song at all.
That was when that was released. We played it. I'm pretty sure the Fancy Like Christmas song.
Yeah, I think we did play it.
Yeah. There's no need to do it.
See, the point of the Applebee's song was the girl's expectations are so incredibly low that she's excited drinking beer out of a styrofoam cup and going to Applebee's. And he's like, I'm going to marry this woman because I can offer her nothing. And she just seems almost like an idiot, like a fool, like real brain dead. She doesn't care what we do. I last for 30 seconds on a date night. She's like, thanks. I pre-ejaculate on a date night.
Well, no, he had too many of those $1 Long Island iced teas. He's not even getting it up.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of alcohol in those Long Island iced teas, if there are such a thing, I would imagine. Isn't
that Dad Boner thing was in a $1 Margs they were doing?
Yeah,
there
$1 Margs
on
at
that?
Chili's.
Yeah.
That chills. Yeah, I understand. I
They
worked
weren't
at
top
Chili's.
shelf.
I worked at Chili's. Nothing wrong with the Chili's. I liked working at Chili's.
I think if you were to ask my son right now, what is your current favorite restaurant, he would say Chili's.
There's one by my parents in Tennessee, and I always want to go, but no one else wants to go with me.
Oh,
They have the nachos where they put everything on the chip. Like they're not just a stack of chips. It's like an individual nacho with the things on it.
Oh, chili.
But they put the calories on it, and it's like 7,000 calories. And you're like, well, there's 8 chips. Like I could eat all of this easily, and this is conceivably 4 days of caloric intake in one appetizer.
You want to go to Chili's after the show and get a triple dipper? I'm right there with you. I get
oh yeah, that was unnecessary. Completely. We are aware of this. We're aware of this ad. Thanks.
Trying to get you off the mic.
Oh, you failed. Let this play if that's your intention. You got anything else you want to say before break?
I can list the contents of the triple dipper just to piss off Adam 12, and
Sure.
I'm willing to do that. See, I go with the mozzarella sticks, the sliders, and the egg roll concoction things. It's got a little Tex-Mex feel to it.
Oh, well, that's the whole idea of the restaurant. All right, so we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Essential.
possibly have missed from the show. It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Yeah, The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group at colonialvw.com, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers during VW's winter deal days. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. This is a sportsy kind of thing. Listen, so Vanity Fair has access to like the inner circle of the White House, like Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance et al. And so Susie Wiles is a name I don't follow politics that closely. I'm unfamiliar with. And there's a little write-up on her. The architect of President Trump's 2024 election victory is now the White House chief of staff, the daughter of the famous sportscaster Pat Summerall. Oh. As Wiles explains, her father was an alcoholic, so she knows how to deal with difficult men with big personalities. I make a specialty of it, she says with a laugh. And so isn't that interesting? Pat Summerall's daughter, they're saying, is the second most important person in the White House.
How about that? Howard Stern made an announcement this morning. We were just talking about Sirius XM.
Yeah, he's retiring on Wednesday. Right?
That he has extended his contract for another 3 years.
That lucky guitar.
Company spokesperson confirmed the contract extension, didn't provide any additional details. Back in 2020, he re-upped for 5 years in a deal that was reported to be worth between $450 and $500 million.
I'm glad he's still working. I'm glad. It's a better world when Stern's on the air. He's the last of the super great guys. There's like and I like that Carton came back to WFAN. Like every time there's like a seminal talent working in radio.
I was just going to say anything to promote the beam.
I mean, Stern's the best of all time, regardless of what you think of his show now. I mean, I'd rather have it on than not have it on.
He's only got to do 75 shows a year for this new contract too. That's down from 100. His last one was 100 a year. Now it's 75 a year.
Oh my God!
That's what
I would imagine there's quite a pay cut.
Yeah,
but
75 live shows a year.
And there's 365 days
in a year. Is he saying that this morning?
That's on one of the reports. So I dropped a different link in there first. I don't know if the deadline.
So 300 so there would be 285 days a year that he's not on there.
Well, think about it this way: there's 52 weeks in a year. He probably takes 8 of those off. So minus that, so you end up with like 2 to 3 live shows a week.
No, it's more like he does 3 live shows a week. And then takes the rest of the time completely off. So how many shows?
75.
What's 75 divided by 3?
25.
Okay, so he's working half the year. So he'll do 3 shows a week, for 25 weeks. Well, listen, he's in his 70s. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'd want to do too. Wouldn't you take less money? Now, I hope they make him go into the studio for his own sake, because he's terribly agoraphobic. Like, don't you think it's better when people are in studio? I think it would do wonders for that show if he was in studio. Look, he's phenomenally more talented than I. But you listen too. Don't you think it would be better if he was there? I know Robin can't get in there, but don't you think it would be better if he was there?
Yes.
Like he
takes vacation for you, Fred, and then sick days, extra holidays, all that stuff. You're still at a minimum doing 220 shows a year.
Yeah, and they're 4-hour shows. So there's a little bit more pressure, and there's live ratings and everything else. There is a little bit more pressure. But I mean, I like Stern. To be honest with you, I knew there was no way he was not re-signing because he was still doing the show and doing guitar talk, and I figured that if it was the last week of the show, he'd probably, at least want to, say thank you. I mean, I don't think he'd want to screw around with his guitar.
So yeah,
exactly. I don't think that's his personality. I don't know him. Even though I had an opportunity, Chachi got me an opportunity to go into the studio, and then I screwed up and I said on the air that I had carte blanche. And then Howard ended up talking about it on the air, and Gary had to come on and explain what I was talking about. That I wasn't lying, but I was kind of puffing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't ever want to go in there because I figured, well, if I can't even see him do the show, what the hell is the point of going in? Like, meet the back office staff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no desire at all to do that.
You don't want to meet Benji?
No. I would like to see Fred and Robin and Howard. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
Very, very, very exciting for me.
I met Gary and hung out with him a little bit one night. He was good.
No,
guy.
I'd love to meet Gary,
he
but
was
Gary's a
great.
star. Like I don't even know the names of the other guys on the show anymore. I know who Benji is because he's been there forever, but like I don't know who Funny Voices guys are anymore. It's not Billy West. I ain't listening. No, I listen to him still. It's not always the greatest, but listen, I'm very happy that he's still on the air. I love Howard Stern.